All right, welcome to the Zortys. I have an amazing panelists of park fans, park creators, and X-Wing.
I'm going to take my leave now. Thanks, guys. That was fine. That was fine.
All right. First of all, let me introduce and say kind of what the Zortys are. This is the first annual theme park creator park content award show, not really judging, but acknowledging the parks and the people that cover them. I have with me, I'll go in order of people that have control. So JT is with After the Weekend and JT's Late Night with Cap. How are you doing, JT?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be a part of the first annual Zortys. So I'm honored to be here, and I do well for you. I hope you pick the winners. So.
Well, this is going to go down to both the audience and us, the panel here, who the winners are, and hopefully people don't try to put me on a pitchfork or something. Next, we have X-Wing. How are you doing, X-Wing? Lovely stash.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I had to trim it up a little bit. I hadn't gotten a haircut in like 3 weeks, and I was letting the mustache come out, and I was looking a little bit. I was doing my best Castaway impression. So I tried to clean it up. This is the Zortys after all. This is going to be viewed by millions of people all around the world. I had to look my best. And just, by the way, Rogue, I have to throw this in your face a little bit. I've been to Disneyland, Disney World, and Disney Paris last year. So I've got a little bit of weight to throw around here, okay?
I know. I was just playing a little bit. I know you can take it. You hang out with Jay. You can take a little jabs.
A little bit of jabs. Not too much, though. It's soft here.
And in my viewpoint, the best California theme park creator I know, Theme Park Casual. How you doing, Casual?
I am doing fantastic. I am so glad that I was able to make it for this one. I decided I would get all dressed up, so I actually have my tuxedo shirt on, and I am ready to go.
I have my halcyon wear that I smuggled off.
Did you wear that shirt to your wedding?
No, but actually the reason why I have this shirt is because I wanted to wear a blue ruffled tuxedo, and Mrs. Casual said, yeah, that's not happening. She let me wear the chucks, but that was it. So as a joke, she got me this shirt.
I like the ruffles.
Years later.
That's a nice addition.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a ruffle tuxedo. I figured, if we're going to go Zortys, we're going to go old school, and we'll make it feel like the opening of Disney World in the 70s, right?
There you go. Nice.
All right. So we're going to start off with an easier one. I see the Gatekeeper's Daimyo in here. How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy?
We're going to start off with the easies. The things, the poll's already in the chat for the first Zorty. Little easy, little not that controversial, but the best park snack. Now I know there's a lot of snacks at Disney. And
Wait,
both
did your
Disneyland
first
and
slide say the best and worst food snack?
No, best and worst parks and best and worst parks.
Okay. Sorry. I already ruined the show. I'm sorry.
Throwing things off there. All right. So now I had to narrow this down. First of all, for time, everyone has valuable time, and there are like hundreds of snacks at Disney, both in Land, World, Paris, everything. We are sticking to like the traditional 3 you think of. I know churros. I know Disneyland people are going to say churros. I know that.
I was going to say the corn in Animal Kingdom. I got to have, a little bit of that. I would throw that one in the mix.
It's
See this freaking guy. You know what? The first time I had that corn, I had it with you. Okay.
Hey, you were supposed to be on this show, but apparently you were too busy.
He's just,
he's being Mr. Best-selling novelist.
I'm just saying, Rogue, who can you count on to be here, right?
Yeah.
X-Wing, I'm just glad you had some corn the long way. It's a good thing.
I walked into that.
So if you know this channel, you know what I'm picking as my thing, and then we have the poll up in the chat.
So basic.
So I see some changes going on now that people are here. Turkey legs.
So we got
down.
Turkey leg, Dole Whip, and then
you could get some trouble saying Dole Whip wrong, man.
Dole Whip.
And all right, so popcorn I put in there mainly because you do get the cheap refills if you have a popcorn bucket. So for a family, it is a good snack option. I'm not going to deny that. Turkey leg is a meal, but I'm going to say we're going to let the poll go for a little bit. But panel, what are we thinking? What is your go-to best park snack out of these 3 here?
You could get popcorn and turkey legs in other places. Like you can get a turkey leg at a Ren fair. You can get popcorn at a movie theater. The whip, though, I don't know if you can really get that made how they make it in Disneyland. Like the best one I've ever had is in Disneyland, by the way, and that's where I mostly went as a kid. So I would go with the Dole Whip. I keep saying Dole.
I will say you can buy Dole Whip in the store now. Not the same.
Not the same, but they make it there. It's
same.
like something magical about that whip over there.
I never bought into the Dole Whip. I've had it a couple times. I dated a girl once who's just like, the first thing I want to do when we go to Disneyland, I got to get a Dole Whip, right? I mean, it was everywhere about the Dole Whip. 2 things. One, I'm not really a big sweets guy. I know it's not that sweet. And then I know this is heresy. I'm not a big cold treat guy. Not a huge cold treat guy. Grew up in the mountains in the snow. Everything's cold already. Like if I want to eat, I want to eat something hot. And I love a good bit of meat. I need that freaking turkey leg. And then I run over to the concession stand and I grab a couple mustard packets. And you drop that mustard packet on that freaking
mustard on turkey?
Drop the mustard packet on the turkey and just go to town on that thing. And it's so calorie packed. It's so heavy. You're pumped for like the rest of the day. You're good to go. You only need one.
I will say it makes sense. The turkey legs do taste like ham. I'll give them that. They do taste like ham.
Perfect. I remember the horror on my wife's face the first time I took her to Disneyland. And I'm like, I got to get some turkey. And she was thinking maybe like a shaved turkey sandwich. I'm like, no. Medieval times, full-blown drumstick. Munched that thing down while I was running through the park. She was horrified.
All right. And casual as the last panel. What's your thoughts?
If you guys know me on my channel, one of the things is we always get ice cream, and Dole Whip falls into that category. So I have to go Dole Whip, although I prefer the Dole Whip float. So I have to have the pineapple juice with it.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. It's better to travel with, like walk with.
I get with casual on that.
Yeah. So but yeah, Dole Whip. If I took someone brand new to Disneyland, and they're like, okay, so what kind of snack? First one I'm going to bring them to is the Dole Whip.
Oh, I'm throwing a full-blown turkey leg right in their face.
All right.
Get powered up, man. It's 3 hours for the Matterhorn, baby. You got to pack the calories in. We got a lot to do today.
Looking at the poll, we are looking at a demanding lead by Dole Whip, and I'm going to give a few more seconds for people to vote. And we are closing the poll, and the decision will have been cast on who or what is winning.
I am shocked to see popcorn going as hard as it is right now.
Yeah, it's a turkey leg. I think some people just don't like a big thing of meat. I don't know.
It's like
Well,
101 degrees outside. It's 101 degrees, and you want to eat hot buttered popcorn? You know,
Yeah.
it's stuck in your teeth. If you're not carrying floss, you're in a world of hurt. You know, well, I guess that's same for the turkey leg.
Well, you got the built-in floss with the tendons.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
if you've been had,
Spoiler: they're not turkey legs.
That makes it even better.
they're not emus. I what?
Maybe
Oh.
Tom is the theme park
A
snack.
little flattery in the chat. There.
That goes
Wow.
without saying, though. Come on.
Wow.
It's Zort. I mean, Zort is that comes out weird. Yeah.
We're also talking
Isn't it
about ones
right
that you can easily purchase at a
Yeah,
theme park.
These are not like the extreme snacks where you have to like go somewhere. Like there are better things to eat.
Yeah, these are like cart things. Well, although
Yeah.
the Dole Whip, so the only way I know how to get the Dole Whip is in Disneyland. You take the left in, and then before you go into Adventureland, they have the Dole Whip right there by the Tiki Station. Do they
So-
actually do those in carts?
No,
No.
they do not do them in
Nope.
carts, but they're now Dole Whip in every single Disneyland or Disney World park. You can now get Dole Whip everywhere, which was not the case before.
Yeah.
You had to.
I remember you can only get in the morning at Disneyland at the bakery. It was I think it was called maybe theme park. You might know what it is. I can't remember the name, but it was like a almost like a cannoli, but not really. It was weird. Like
Wasn't
but
it
they
something with the Matterhorn? Like isn't it?
yeah,
named
it was like
after
the
something with
Matterhorn. I can't remember what that was called, but we used to always get something at the bakery in the morning. When we went to Disneyland.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know.
I have to go. I'm going to look it up. But yeah,
All right.
it was delicious.
We are closing the poll. We have turkey leg has come up to a soft second, and popcorn has fallen down. But at 48%, we're closing the poll. The first award from the Zortys goes to Dole Whip.
No.
And throw the Dole Whips in the chat if you remember for the Dole Whip. Have Dole Whip will travel. So that's the softball. That was the way to get this thing going nice and easy. We are now going into a little bit more interesting stuff. Worst park trend of the year. So we have 3 choices here. I'm going to drop them in the chat. So first of all, fighting in the theme parks. That has increased drastically over the past because of the pandemic and stuff.
That's all Jay's fault.
He just wants to get it on film.
Well, you tripped poo, and then
I was going to
all
say
of a
he's
sudden,
tripping
like,
characters. So
he tripped poo, and all of a sudden it was pandemonium at the parks. It was the pandemonium. I don't know.
You just want to say Pandora.
You just want to say panda? What?
I think he's trying to get
No.
poo worked in there somehow.
Now, this has actually been across.
Keep
all
eating
the
those
parks.
turkey legs. You'll work in the poo.
This has been across. Wait a minute. What? Are we gonna have a celebrity coming in? All right. We will send Jay the link. I didn't want to bother him while he's going to fight pirates.
Does that mean I'm
doing.
booted, Tom? Does
Bother
that
him.
mean I'm booted?
Always bother him.
No, I have enough room for 10 people.
You ain't going nowhere.
There you go.
We
Jay,
fit so
Jay.
we fit so nicely with the 4 of us. That's all I'm asking.
We'll
There's
be
room
okay.
for
We'll be fine.
It's not that big. I mean, come on.
It's fine. So let me finish making this poll. So we have the fights in the parks. We have the abuse of the DAS system, which actually came into light with a content creator getting banned from the park, ear to ear magic, I believe. So that's going to be the next one, DAS abuse, which I've been trying to like calculate how much this increased since I was coming as a kid, because there wasn't abuse when I was a kid, and now it's like every person has anxiety to get a front of the line pass.
Can I ask something about that, by the way, really quick?
Sure.
This disability access service, is this getting into the park or is this ride service?
This is to skip lines.
Okay, so
okay.
I have to admit, I gotta be completely honest. I think my wife might have taken advantage of this a little bit. Okay.
It's no, but here's the thing. I don't think there's. I think people going off for one. I'm talking about like there are certain content creators that use this as a, and there were people using it as a business. That's more of my thing.
What? Oh no, she had a bum knee and she got a wheelchair. I'm like, you don't need a
Yeah.
wheelchair.
So wait. So you're saying people were lying that they were disabled and I guess I never heard this one.
So
I think what was happening was people that legitimately have the DAS pass
were using it as a business to.
They were selling access to that as under the guise of being a tour guide.
Oh, that's dirty.
Oh,
yes.
They would say, "Come join me, sign up for one of my tours," and they would put the family on the DAS pass.
Okay, that's totally different than what we had to like buy a wheelchair and then they stuck us in a wheelchair line. That was
We've done that for my kid before. Like we were able
which
to get...
is different than what like so Universal basically handed off their disabilities to a third party, so they don't have to deal with this anymore. And they
they were okay.
That was smart.
And they have,
and I do want to clear it up real quick. Rogue, I don't want to put the wrong creator out there. I believe it was Here with the Ears.
Here with the Ears. Okay, Here with the Ears. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say because Ear to Ear, I believe he's still in the parks.
Yeah, I saw the video of the. First of all, we have a celebrity amongst us, Jay Drunk 3PO.
Now that you got the guy you actually wanted instead of
fiddle, we'll see it, Tom.
I'll just do this. I'll just go down here on the end there.
My camera's not working, so you just get the avatar.
That's fine. It's a very nice avatar.
Thank you.
Is it though?
Do you have any? You were a large person for popcorn. I'm sorry you didn't get a vote.
Confetti Disney confetti popcorn is the greatest thing ever. If you never had it, you won't understand.
Pure cancer, like Red 32 or whatever they call it. Sounds like a football call. Red 32 die or whatever.
Sounds like a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I will say the custom popcorn at the confectionery is part of the reason why I gained probably about 30 pounds this year.
Holy cow. It's corn, man.
Yeah, but it's also carbs and sugar.
Yeah, this is true. Hi, Jay.
It's not dad. Did I write dad? Whoops. Did I write it? No, it says DAS abuse. I'm right. It's DAS. Okay. I mean, dad abuse happens inside of a theme park. If you ever see,
so they were selling the passes. They were someone who had access to this stuff was selling this to.
So to just quickly explain how DAS works in a little bit. For Disney, you do like a little interview. I'm pretty sure X-Wing can kind of agree because he probably just did this recently. But you just do like a little interview, and then you're allowed to take up to 5 people with you onto. You weren't allowed 5?
That's not at all what happened. I mean, it was just my wife and I, but they have like the little, go-kart shack that you have to go up to. And she's like, I want the rascal, the powered scooter. And I'm like, we'll just do a wheelchair. That's fine. So like we get a wheelchair. And for some reason, I thought it was going to be like some very special treatment. So I was being a little shy about it because I'm like, this feels wrong. There's going to be a guy who rolls up who, he spent 2 tours in Iraq or something. He's missing a leg. And my wife, who's got a bum knee, we're going to be right behind him like, oh, we deserve a front spot in line. That's not really what happened. Obviously, those lines, they take a long time still to get on and everything. But there was no pass or no interview or anything like that involved.
See, at Disneyland,
I think that's because you got the wheelchair. So I know my mom recently had to do this because she's getting she can't stand anymore. She's old, we want to say. And she had to go through what her ailment was in an interview, but she's allowed to bring her family with her, and you just basically go up to a guest service and tag the people in your friends and family that day that are with you, and it's up to 5. So that's what these people were doing. Was basically they were a family going in and saying, these are my family. Sorry, JT, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Like with Disneyland, maybe theme park can correct me, but last time we did it, we were able to like go like a different way to the front of the line. Like, but you still waited.
It was a different queue, but you did wait. Yeah.
You weren't in the main line, but you were like off to the side.
So like cars was still an hour wait in the disabled line.
That's horrible.
Shut
though.
This down with the worst park trend. I don't know if it's on the list. The worst park trend is fat people changing the roller coasters to accommodate themselves.
Oh, man.
I hate it. I'm tired of it.
That real thing?
And Disney's to blame for it all.
Well, Disney started first with Ratatouille. Park Hopping covered that well, that they changed the seating.
Yeah.
So they're like
the Tron ride put put bucket seats in the back for fat people.
Oh my gosh.
It's a
I will say
motorcycle
this,
ride.
Are they going to
I've
put
never-
little
I have
seats
never
for
had to
little
use
people?
that seat.
I'm not saying Tom is fat. I've never have said Tom is fat. Tom's jolly. That's different.
What about us little people? Are they going to put little seats for us?
Yeah, what about us tall people? Are they gonna like
They have to do a lot with Space Mountain to get tall people to work with that.
So
Is it
that,
like
Flight of
Southwest
the
where you get a
Passage,
free
they have
seat?
the Econ in the front, and then they have like the Turuk Makto seats in the back if you really need, like, got to carry the weight.
shout out to
Yeah.
Universal when the fat people came over there and said we can't fit in your Mario Kart ride. They were like, lose weight.
Well, I mean, Shanghai Disney did just go through a little bit of an issue where a
Right.
kid was thrown out of, which is similar to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in terms of the ride vehicle.
Thrown out?
Like, yeah, he was thrown out of or jumped out of the Zootopia
I was gonna say,
ride
I
and
think
got run
I
over.
think they got out. I don't think they
Yeah.
were thrown.
Yeah, like they
On the
jumped
Zootopia
out.
ride, I saw that. Yeah.
And
Got
I
ran
honestly,
over too, didn't it?
yeah, and I'm wondering if they're going to start putting seatbelts into the ride. That's my guess, to try and keep, because those can lock in compared to what's on Mickey and Minnie's right now, which is just a lap
Right.
bar across everyone. Which,
So
if you got some big people and some little people, don't work too well because it stops at the biggest contender.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Right.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Tabitha, I'm not accustomed to X-Wing wear.
He's going to put on his pirate hat
Oh,
now.
It looks like the DOS or DAS abuse
Is winning.
Is winning. What is the
didn't-
park hopping restrictions? What is that? What happened to
Well,
that?
that was the for annual pass holders and for day ticket guests who purchase park hoppers. You were
You
not
don't have
able
fat people
to.
on the list.
I don't want to attack
What?
my own kind.
Oh,
I feel you, bro.
wait, what are the three? I don't have the stream pulled up. It's DAS Pass.
It's DAS Pass, park hopping restrictions, and fights in the parks. Which I thought fights in the parks would be kind of doing better than it is.
I don't know
but
if that's
You have the
I don't know if
poll
that's a trend. That's more exciting. The theme park restrictions are annoying.
I think
yeah.
I after what you said about the extra bucket seat, I think that should have been on the list, Tom.
But the park hopping thing was that was really only Florida, right? I mean, because California, you just walk
Disneyland-
between the two.
I thought it's a different time limit. I think it was 11 a.m.
Disneyland is still 11 a.m. before you can park hop.
Seriously? Oh,
Mhm.
before you can
It-
park. Okay.
Wait, what?
yeah.
When did that
this will-
change?
This award is literally just for Disney,
Yeah, this
Universal
was
or
only,
SeaWorld or anything
Yeah,
else. It
well,
doesn't
the worst
apply.
park trends because I couldn't really think of any bad things that
It's
SeaWorld or
all
Universal
Disney.
did.
I only voted because I thought it was supposed to be dad. Dad abuse sounds worse.
Yeah.
That does happen. It does happen in theme park. If you see some of the faces on parents there, that you can. But yeah, Universal. Well, there was some fights in Universal, but that was more scare actors, and I couldn't find enough. Like a couple of times happened where teens were like messing around with the scare actors, which.
Didn't one scare actor get like decked in the face? He was like, "Don't touch
Yeah.
my girl."
But that's
Well,
that.
well,
That
Knott's
was in
Berry
Cali-
Farm.
that was in California.
Yeah, Knott's Berry Farm last year had to institute a chaperone policy because they had a little bit of a problem with the youngins running wild.
Really?
Damn youngins.
Dang,
So
youngins.
We're gonna close this off. It looks like DAS abuse is leading the pack. Next time I'll add a thing in for the fatties just for Jay. I'm sorry. I was trying to think about what happened this year, and this was things I could think of that were put to a height.
Yeah,
this
there's someone
year.
on the panel that had a little DAS abuse. Yeah,
gas abuse.
Gas
Gas.
abuse?
Gas
Oh.
abuse? Oh yeah, didn't you like fart on a ride or something? There was a whole
I
video.
saw that. I
about
just saw the little short about the haunted mansion.
Oh, that was the ride. I didn't think the park hopper thing was that, because my wife and I went last year and we got the park hopper and it was different than anything I'd been used to, because in California you could just bump back and
Yeah.
forth between parks all
Mhm.
day.
But-
And then I went to Florida and it was like, you have to schedule what parks you want to be at what times and yada yada. I'm like, this is wildly
Well,
different
Tom-
than any Disney
Tom had a
experience I've had.
Tom had a crippled friend that had a DAS and yeah,
I did-
she let him
I
You got
did-
the DAS pass, the gas
I
DAS
did-
pass.
Yeah, I will say that part of the park hopping restrictions are going away January. at least for day of ticket guests. I don't know entirely how annual pass works fully yet. There are good to go days where you can go between whatever parks you want to go to. This is more of a locals issue for the park hopping than, say, a guest, because we would be the people going, oh man, Magic Kingdom's crowded. Well, I want to go to Epcot instead, or I want to go to Hollywood Studios instead. And oh, we have our first. You love me. You really love me. $20 or $19.99 from R to the Icky. You love me. You really love me. Hope you all have a wonderful evening for the first annual Zortys. You spelled it wrong, R2. But thank you for the $19.99.
Thanks, Icky.
Super chat. I will say, looking at this, I just found the one to be the most egregious was the business off the DAS personally.
Yeah, it's bad.
Abusing a system that's supposed to help people in any way I find is wrong. Now, I know I had a friend, and I'll admit I like not having to wait a long time on certain rides, but I would never turn anything like that into a business, and a one-off is different than continually using that.
I was just joking with you, man.
All right, so I think
throwing you under the bus. You're my friend. Come on.
Also, this is America. Like, we kind of make a culture out of abusing systems that are supposed to help people. So,
yes, we do. So, do we have a
Heyo.
consensus on the winner?
I'm
I
gonna go with
think
DAS.
DAS. Are we thinking DAS?
Yep.
All right. Do I see this right?
I picked fighting,
right.
but I can go with DAS. I'm okay with that one.
I think
mean,
that's
yeah.
too, because the people that are getting it are overweight people at this point. So, and they're you want to know what's crazy too? These people are bringing their like support animals to like Halloween Horror Nights. And
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Wait. But I can understand that because there are certain individuals that if you do take them to something like that, they might need a dog to even get them through the park. But
That's
listen,
like
all
that's
right,
like
hold
1
on.
or
Listen to what I'm
120,
saying,
though.
JT.
You know, there's
Listen to
people
what I'm
bringing
saying.
poodle.
Listen to what I'm saying. Halloween Horror Nights is designed with loud banging noises, strobe lights, shock and
okay.
awe. It's not your normal theme park day. And if people are struggling with anxiety and they have to have their dog or cat or pig or bird with them to walk through something like that, they probably shouldn't be going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Let's go to
at
somewhere
all.
designed for stress. And not to mention,
Yeah,
put my
it's-
dog in it, and my
and I-
dog has no idea what's going on.
I feel so terrible for these dogs that have to like deal with like, I mean, it's like people running around with chainsaws, fake gun noises all the time. It's disgusting.
I agree entirely with that too. Especially I've seen like people with their little dog, the Chihuahua, in a baby stroller, trying to disguise
That's
the
ridiculous.
pet.
Yeah, and don't take your
And-
toddlers either.
Oh, we saw babies at Halloween Horror
Yeah.
Nights, man. There were babies going around like being carried. I'm like, what type of?
Yeah.
Oh, that kid
I've
ain't
got
sleeping.
a husky that farts when I close the door because it scares him a little bit. I couldn't imagine taking that dog to a freaking park where there's chainsaws and guns and loud, And the other thing too, their hearing, man. Like, if you think it's loud for you, oof.
I agree. I hate that stuff. I listen. I get some people use the DAS pass and they have their dog with them at like whatever, but you don't want to freaking take your dog to SeaWorld and freaking Shamu has a bad moment and scoops him up, while like imagine that headline. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if your dog freaks out and jumps in the what if the dog freaks out and jumps in the water? Like, look at this swimming pool and freaking Shamu comes along and
And then we got Harambe 2.0. Now they got to put the freaking Shamu down.
What?
I don't.
Wow.
No, because
we
we,
went
like I
there.
said, we use this.
Tom is regretting inviting me already.
We use the I don't know if they called it that when I used it with my kid but he was like 2 or 3, but we were able to like use him as the pass. But I don't know if it wasn't really called the pass. We're just like, look, he has to ride around on this little thing. Sometimes he needs help getting on the rides, and it wasn't a big deal. We didn't have like a pass or anything. So maybe that's changed since the last time we went. That was like a few years ago though. So crazy.
All right, so we're gonna move on since we just had Christmas. Now I want everyone to understand the Mickey is representing both coasts for Disney parks. It's Disneyland, Disney World. They're slightly different. So That's glad theme parks here, because if he didn't show up, I would not know what to talk about for Disneyland. We also have Grinchmas, and we have SeaWorld, which I believe each of the SeaWorld parks do a similar Rankin and Bass display. So, can we vote off guests? No, I'm sorry.
You know what, Gary? I'll leave if you're that upset.
If you have a high enough member, maybe. Become a Zord.
$20 super chat.
There you go.
I'm trying my best to follow the right example. So I will start off with Theme Park Casual, who was just at Knott's Berry Farm and stuff like that. But you did do Disneyland's Christmas. I'm trying to. So give us a little example of what that's like, just so we all have an understanding, because Disney World is an entirely different beast.
Yeah, so Disneyland at Christmas, you've got a few attractions that get overlays. The big ones being Haunted Mansion Holiday that lasts, half the year now. So you've got that for Halloween and Christmas, and then you've got what I consider the best overlay, which is It's a Small World turns into It's a Small World Holiday, where the entire facade and the entire mall leading up to It's a Small World is decked out with thousands of Christmas lights. And then inside the ride, every country is decorated, with sort of authentic Christmas decor in each of the land. And they intermix Jingle Bells in with the It's a Small World song. So those are the two big overlays for the rides. And then you've got the Christmas Fantasy Parade, which has been going for, I believe, like 25, 28 years, something like that now. Still a classic. It's got the toy soldiers. They come out with the trumpets. They're playing the drums. It has the classic snowflake skaters, all of that, and Santa, the reindeer, all of that. I absolutely love the parade. So I don't care what anybody says. If they're thinking that it's been, it's had its time for it to go and give us a new one. No, I love the parade. So just leave it alone. And then it's got what I consider one of my top 3 fireworks shows, which is Believe in Holiday Magic. And
except for when it gets delayed for freaking an hour and 45 minutes.
That's the only problem with the fireworks at Disneyland. Now I was gonna say that if you're able to get the show, it's a fantastic show. But I believe they probably get the fireworks, I think, about maybe 50 to 60% of the time if you're lucky.
So Disneyland's is not an extra ticket event, correct? It is
correct. Everything is included. Everything.
I always like the overlay with the Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought that was fun.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is like, so I've been to both. I was horrified when I took my wife and we went and rode Haunted Mansion in Florida, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? this is wrong. Everything is wrong.
Yeah.
Show her, this is Halloween. So the Haunted Mansion overlay was always such a huge thing for me when I was a kid. I was excited if we got there around Christmas time because we got the Nightmare Before Christmas. But I will say, I've been to Disney World during Christmas time, and it is a completely different demon. It's just like horrifically splattered everywhere. I love it. It's just like Christmas up your rear as much as you can get Christmas everywhere. I think Disneyland tones it down a little bit comparatively. But the things that they do, I love. So 1 is the big overlay. 2 is when you you go to the Best Western and then you cut through the Grand California and you come into downtown Disney and you get in the park. Yeah. You walk down Main Street for that fireworks show. They do fake snow in Southern California. They do fake snow and you get the fireworks show. And my wife was bawling. She's like, this is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's fun. We've done that before. I agree with you with the overlay with the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's amazing. It's pretty fantastic. And the whole new world is just different out there. It's just different at Disneyland. So looks great.
All right, Jay, me and Jay being the East Coasters here. Jay, I know SeaWorld seems to be always on your top of the list for Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's the nostalgia of Christmas Town, getting to meet Bumble, having interaction with Bumble, Rudolph, Sam, the silver and gold singing snowman, and they just look so good.
I've only seen it because of your channel, so I've never experienced it in real life.
It looks just like out of the claymation. Like that's how good it looks.
Oh, they do the old movies there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas Town, are you listening?
Bro.
Ah. Rudolph,
Yeah.
Bumble,
Yeah, I've been to the
Yukon
SeaWorld
Cornelius. Are you listening?
San Diego Christmas, and yeah, the characters from Rudolph are just spot on. They're fantastic.
Oh my gosh, John, is that John Gruber, the sleeping man of
You remember the John Graver
2023?
stream? Yeah,
Oh,
that's him.
Graver, yeah. Sorry, I got your name wrong.
Yep, the sleeping,
Yeah, so
snoring part.
SeaWorld has a special place because then they have like you buy a hot chocolate cup and you can go to all the hot chocolate stations and try hot chocolate with or without alcohol, but just different flavors. I love that. They also is one of the few places where you can get the classic Bible story of the birth of Christ, which I really appreciate. They don't hold back. They play the church. I call it church Christmas music. You know, that's not like the pop music, like the Mariah Carey style, like stuff like that. And so I really enjoy that. You know, like I really enjoy that a lot. So
Arthur Harold Angels thing, but it's not in sync.
Yeah, it's more the hymns.
Yeah,
more the hymn style. Yeah, so that's just me. Universal, the Grinch stuff is really different. They do the Macy's Day Parade. That's where I saw Black Santa for the first time. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, you always had a good spot with that parade. I always would rather, if I were to go to one of Universal or Disney in Florida, I would probably pick Universal just because of that parade, because that parade looks really fun.
I went to the Disney Christmas party.
And
so for the price, so that ticket is 100. What was it, Tom? 150.
If you're not an annual pass holder, it would be 180. I think it's a little bit cheaper if you're a pass holder.
So you're paying $150 for a few extra hours at the park with the parade and a show, fake snow. The only cool part, you get free milk and cookies, or hot chocolate and cookies. The only cool thing is like there's 0 wait time on all the rides. So you're paying an extra $150. SeaWorld, you didn't have to pay extra. Universal, the only thing you paid extra for is if you wanted to have breakfast with the Grinch, which I did. I thought that was well worth it because you get like a lot of food and some like serious one-on-one time with the Grinch instead of waiting 10 hours. SeaWorld was still number one for me. That was still my favorite.
I will say the only thing, this was the first time I did it this year, was the candlelight processional in Epcot, and
that I didn't do, and I heard that was pretty awesome. So
I will say that it's like Epcot is my favorite Christmas park, and it's just because it's the Christmas stuff they do is old school Epcot, because it's all about the actual different like cultures and their holidays. So each country has a traditional story telling their tale of Christmas.
Yeah,
or their
I remember
holiday.
you doing a video about it. It was fun to see all those different Santas.
That's just saying personally, but I will say I think Universal and SeaWorld both offer a better product for regular entry. Now, Disneyland, I have not done Christmas yet. I really want to get over there to do Disneyland Christmas at some point, just because it does look very interesting with the overlays. But
I'm just thinking about the price too, Tom. It's like $150 to celebrate Christmas at Disney versus free.
They charge you
only for the one
party.
Are
you not listening, man? I literally said.
Step away.
I literally said it's $150 to $180 to do.
That's insane.
Christmas at Disney World.
So did they close the park at like 7 and then you have to come back?
Correct.
Or?
Well, you could stay in if you had a ticket for the day and you get a bracelet you have to wear.
Is that only for Disney World?
That's only for Magic Kingdom's party.
Oh, yes. But if you're an annual pass holder, you have to pay the extra 150.
Yeah, and I think if you buy the ticket separately, you do get early. You get entry. I think you used to get entry early, like it's like 3 hours before 7, so it could technically count as a full day ticket. Back in the day, I don't think they do that anymore. But you used to.
They didn't do it this year.
It's like Horror Nights. Like you have to buy that extra. Okay.
So
you have a question here, Tom.
Yes, that was at Epcot, and I do also want to say that I did have to pay technically. So I got a dining reservation to guarantee my seat to see Brendan Fraser, because otherwise I would have been standing in line from 8 in the morning.
That's worth it
because
for me, man.
Because people, so I ended up paying, I think it was a $200 meal to see him for the.
Whoa!
Yikes!
Did you yell "squeeze the juice"?
I
have a great Brendan Fraser story that I'll share.
I did not yell "squeeze the juice," but I think he did a phenomenal job, and that's one of the things I will say. Epcot, that candlelight processional. There's some words they omit now. They say "of all people" instead of "all men" or something, but it's still the story of Christ. You still get to see that, and the fact that Disney still allows that at all, very surprising to me. Just saying.
Yeah, that is a little shocking that was a thing.
Well, they've always kind of dumped. Like, the thing with Epcot is that they kind of celebrate Christmas with the countries. So, like, when you go into Germany, they have like the German Santa story. If you go into England, they have that.
Santa Claus.
So when you go to the American Pavilion, that is where they show the story of Christ. So go figure. So it's just like, that's just part of in my opinion, that's just what they do, like with the different pavilions that are there. But X-Wing, did you never hear my Brendan Fraser story?
No, and if it's about how Brendan Fraser actually sucks, I don't want to hear it because my
no.
Anymore. Like, oh, this guy actually blows.
I'll have to tell you privately. That happened at the convention when I met him.
I hate you.
All right.
I do got to say, Tom, I am a little offended that Knott's Berry Farm was not on the list.
Well,
I know hardly anybody would know anything about it, but my God, they do Christmas spectacular.
This year I was limiting it to 3. Next year I will limit to 4 or have it up to 4. I was just trying to make it time conscious. But yes, Knott's Berry Farm looks.
Yeah, we have plenty of plans. Bus to get there.
We have plenty of plans for getting over to you guys.
Where is that? Is that in like Tennessee or something?
Knott's Berry Farm?
Knott's Berry Farm. I don't know where it is.
It's by
like 12. It's 12 miles from
California.
Disneyland.
Is it really?
Yeah,
bro.
I thought it was like by Hollywood or something down in like freaking Southern America.
No, there is a theme park in the middle of the country. There, it's like an
Silver Dollar.
Yeah, Silver Dollar City.
So, just to bring up the Dawn, you have missed Best Snack and Worst Park Trend. So you have not missed too much. We're gonna have to try and.
You should. X-Wing, you should watch Theme Park Casual. You'll know where Knott's Berry Farm is.
Okay, all right.
And at 38%, Universal has won out. The panels, interestingly enough, is leaning towards Disneyland. But I will have to agree, price does matter, and combining both coasts, I'm going to say Universal edges out because that parade, which actually used to be at Disney World back in the day. I actually saw that when I was a kid. They did it down New York Street in Hollywood and what was MGM at the time.
Yeah.
So I think Universal wins out. Panel, what do you think?
I still got to go Disney in this group.
Yeah, I'm only going to go with what I've experienced. I've only seen what you and Jay have shown on your videos. It looks fantastic, but I've only experienced Disneyland at Christmas, so I can't. So I have to go Disney.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't been to Universal out here in Hollywood, but it feels like that is the lightest park when it comes to Christmas. They are the
theme
weakest.
park would probably pick Knott's Berry Farm if it was on the list, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would have a tough time. In fact, somebody asked me on Twitter whether I would choose Disneyland for the holidays or not, and that's almost like an impossible choice for me. That's how good Knott's is.
What's the IPs Knott's Berry Farm uses for Christmas?
Peanuts characters, Charlie Brown, Snoopy.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
And during the Snoopy on Ice, the night before Christmas ice show, they do have Linus come out and he does the solo reading the verses from Luke.
Oh, all right.
So it's fantastic. Yeah, Knott's kills it, and their snowfall, their snow and glow. When they do the snow, it's better than Disneyland, I think.
All right. So, Tim Tracker is a channel where that would be considered hosted.
Oh, okay. I just have to give it to Disney just because I haven't experienced Knott's Berry. I haven't experienced Universal. I'll be moving down there shortly, and believe me, I'm going to be in every single thing I can possibly do when it comes to theme parks. So
you'll be in everything.
So
he's coming with. I'm dragging his butt to everything.
I'm so excited.
I cannot wait. X-wing. We're going to watch Flight of Passage 5,000 times.
I'm going to stack Lily with like a tactical baby carrier, and I am doing everything. Everything.
I'm getting X-Wing a chest bag. He needs one of the theme park tactical bags. There you go. All right. So Disney in general wins out for this time. Me and Jay are on the low end of the totem pole. We are going to go now to the next category, which is going to be the little bit fun one, which is most hosted channel. I'm going to explain what hosted mean. This actually came across during the Star Cruiser, which basically means they got the stuff for free. That's when hashtag hosted started trending. I will say that these are three people are Scott Gustin, JoJo's World, and Brooke McDonald. And the only reason I picked these three is I looked through their past on Twitter and Instagram to see how many times they used the hashtag hosted, and they were the three highest.
Ordinary
out of the hey, I went logical here. So
we're not picking who we like if we know these people.
Do you know any of them?
No, I thought Jay was hosted.
No, Jay. Park hopping is not hosted.
They come and say hi in his chat at Universal, which is cool.
I haven't seen them in forever. I feel left out. All right.
They only know me. They don't know you.
Jay isn't allowed within 1,000 feet of Winnie the Pooh, so
I will say this: Scott has the best breaking news for any theme park.
I was going to say
he's a good Twitter follow.
Yeah.
Actually,
what's the Twitter handle?
Scott
Gustin. Scott. It was three people. Scott Gustin.
Yes.
You'll see his dumb mug in the just same picture, literally.
Is it GU or GOO?
GUST.
I see it. Yep, there's that same picture.
So how does one become hosted? You have to pay for it?
You sell your soul to Disney.
You don't, yeah, pretty much.
Become the guy that says, "Hey man, I just paid $320 for a Dole Whip, but it's excellent. You guys got to come try it. It's the greatest thing. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You just need to come and experience this. It's the greatest day of my life." That's what they say.
I will say I have met all three of these people personally, so I have run into them. JoJo was probably the most normal in person, even though he's a little weird because he was a former cast member. He worked actually a year after me. So as for Brooke, she was definitely persnickety. I guess the best way to say it.
I wish you had put some jerks up there, like ordinary. Biggest.
He was trying to be nice. He was trying to be nice.
I made fun of them when I ran into them. I ran into him the opening of Space 220, and Nate was there too, paging Mr. Morrow. And I was talking with him, and this was when they got in trouble for trying to have him cut in front for them. They're like, "Oh, hey, Nate, come up with us." Everyone yelled at those two.
Is he hosted? Adventures. Is Nate hosted?
Yeah. But he's
cool.
like a friend of park hopping.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like Tom.
He's a genuinely happy person, though. He is like he just exudes positivity. So it's not phony with him. That's just who he is. I believe
the reason is Nate can drink like nobody's business. So he's nice and happy on the videos, but he's like, "Jay, let's go get something to eat," and I'm like, "Dude, are you driving after this, buddy?" He just like, maybe you spend so much time at Disney, you have to drink alcohol to deal with the whatever.
There are those days. There are definitely those days.
We're having fun. This is fun.
I love Nate, dude. I love Nate, and shout out to him for getting his own signature Resolve. Is that what it's
he has his own Roosevelt line.
Roosevelt line. What the heck did I say?
Resolve. I thought you were the carpet cleaner. I was like, what? He's
Roosevelt line. Those are expensive shirts too. They're like $80 a shirt.
Every time I've seen Nate, he's always been chill, and he's never. Yeah, that's why I put people on here that I did not think were Scott at like him in the park. I said hi on the 50th anniversary, and he was fine. What? Jesus, R2, you went there. That girl's finger scares me.
Oh yeah, she's got some AI fingers. Look at them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Finding a picture of Brooke without her kids around is very hard. So this is like the one I could.
Well,
find.
good on you for not putting them on there.
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
my gosh,
she
who won?
uses her kids.
Wow. Wow. People don't like JoJo. Oh,
I don't
wow.
like JoJo at all.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Oh, I haven't voted yet.
You haven't voted yet?
I'm only going to vote on who you say to vote for.
I feel like I'm
don't
being
know.
judged over the blue milk, honestly, just from a still picture. I feel like I'm being judged.
I like the blue milk. I'm not gonna lie. It's not.
Oh,
It's better than
do
green.
it. It's like drinking snot.
Yeah, I didn't like the
green.
blue
The green
milk at
was
all.
terrible. The first time I met
Wait.
Jay, he made me drink the green one.
Who did Jay say was pretty cool out of these three? What did he say? It was Scott.
Scott. Scott's a
He's
great.
pretty cool. He said he had the best. He had the best news takes.
Yeah, he gets access.
He is
And he's
very
really
thorough too.
Are we voting for who we don't like or who we like?
I'm not gonna vote.
This is not about like or not. It's most hosted. So
Nevada
it's like
Oh,
abstains.
person who's-
Scott. It's got to go to Scott.
Yeah.
He's like news media.
This had nothing to do with like the way they are as people or anything like that. It's basically who has the most access to the content.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'd say Scott. He always has breaking news. So he's got to be in with somebody. So
I'm gonna end the poll, and it got even after people figured out it wasn't a popularity contest. So Scott kind of won out at 35%. All right. The next award
Anything else?
is Best New Creator IG. I had a request for this one, and we have 3 accounts on here. 2 just random people that I saw grow about to 1,500 in a few months, and they have good positive engagement.
Oh,
and they
little
don't seem to
park
be-
things. Whoever that person is,
I don't know
Yes.
who it is. Never see their face, but
they never show her face. They never show their face.
So we have 3 on here. I'm gonna put the poll up. I'm gonna shorthand some of the names, but best IG because I'm running 5
I
things
don't
at
know who
once.
that is.
What is? I don't know.
No,
She
but
just had
honestly,
great-
though, I feel like if you're talking about best new guy, I understand it's Instagram, and I don't use Instagram, but I mean, you have to look at
I
who
think-
took the lead on Park Hop and has been an awesome
Yeah,
creator in parks. No
I think I
contest.
spelled these right. These were just accounts that seemed not too like I don't know. There's people that I've Chris. Well, Krista's account, her own account, is not theme parks. So, and I'm gonna put their names shorthand. These also 2 of them will be later on in a Perfect Park interview. I've reached out to them. They seem chill people, so I think that's
Cool.
all right, so I'm gonna put the poll up, and I think we all know who's gonna win this award, but I'll still put the poll up. So I will say IG is a good place to find trends for the parks. It's a little bit more bite-sized, and Little Park Things is killing it. Whoever it is. What's up, Keenan? I think we all know.
Photo creds. I don't know who, but that guy, whoever takes those photos, do an
Yes,
excellent
those
job.
photos are amazing.
You're supposed to take someone's face in a portrait, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
know who took it either, but
that could
No,
be
man,
anybody.
that's the mystique of Little Park Things. It's awesome.
I might be Little Park Things.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Who knows?
Maybe that's
So- This will have a little bit less time than the other polls because I think that we all know that there's someone's gonna win. But
Tom, I want to say, and this is not meant to come across like rude at all in the slightest. I always kind of thought like Krista put on a vibe like, oh, I'm a little kid, and it was like a thing for YouTube or whatever. But then I watched her play Legend of Zelda, and I'm like, oh, that's literally like a little kid. And so you get this cool vibe of like going back to Disneyland or Disney World as like a little kid every time you watch, her interact with stuff around the park and stuff like that. So it's awesome to watch. It's like I think about my little daughter coming soon. I'm so excited. It gets
when
me
you have to
excited
take out when you have to take out 2 mortgages to do a trip.
Not if you live close by.
Not if you live close by. If you're
soon.
local, parks are a lot better. Nagarol, can you also drop in Drunk Video's basement channel for J2?
I pledge myself to your teachings.
I'm only 2 away from monetization.
My master.
All right, so I think we're gonna end the poll. We all know who wins. I will say though, Abby got more votes than I was expecting. Okay. All right, and the winner of Best New IG goes to Little Park Things.
Whoever you are.
Let me find.
That photographer is grade A.
And do follow Little Park Things on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow that.
We have Fear the Beardo in chat.
Hi, T, brother.
Lock it in.
He is a big Disneyland fan. So I thought you. I didn't think about you, Beardo, as a part
a Disney guy.
He's a Disneyland fan. He's a SoCal guy, right? So
yeah,
I think Disneyland is part of his being.
You love to hear it.
So the next award, we are getting close here. Is biggest park failure of the year. My personal one that I wanted to talk about. I was waiting for this one. I put it towards the end just because, hey, you know what I mean? So we have 3, and my viewpoint is one of these is basically Jay's baby, which is the Star Cruiser. He did the best coverage for the Star Cruiser.
Personal bank account, that one.
I will say I did put my photo in, but
yeah, didn't that photo get like taken down?
No, I still have it.
The Penske truck.
Yeah, I thought someone told you to delete that photo or like it.
I deleted the photo from my camera after I posted it. I'll let Jay say the story. He's good at it.
Tom calls me. And he goes, "You're not going to believe this, but I just saw the truck from the Star Cruiser, and security almost threatened to take away my pass and everything." And I go, "Send me the picture. Send me the picture." So he sends it to me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we're about to launch 1,000 YouTube channels, and I'm gonna make so much money on a down payment on a home with this picture." But then I was like, me and Tom talked. I don't know how long. I was like, "I don't want you to get in trouble." It's like, I don't want to post it. And they're like, "Oh, it was that guy with that lizard on his shoulder. Kick him out." So I think I posted it without your name on it, right? Because I said, I don't care if I get in trouble.
So I think I sent you some extra photos. I posted that one before they found me. So I posted that up to Twitter before anything else. And then, so I was in like a full, I was in full Jedi attire. They thought I was an employee.
I love the dude in the mask in the front too. Like he's by himself in the Penske truck and he's wearing a mask.
So this was day one. That was day one, the first day of the Star Cruiser being open. I got to the front door. Like I was almost going in.
This was 2022 or 21?
It didn't even last a year. So it was.
Yeah, it was 22.
Yeah. Okay, I remember how soon in the 2022 this was.
So I'm counting it this year because it did close this year. I will say that the next one we have to talk about is basically Splash Mountain.
Have you seen the pictures of the remodel at Disneyland? It looks like a green mound,
I've seen videos
like a
of the
grassy
inside.
knoll.
I've seen videos of the inside.
Theme park, is it pretty awful looking at Disneyland?
At Disneyland, it's just rough right now. There's the scaffolding, so you can't really tell what the heck's going on at Disneyland.
You're behind us a little
bit.
Yeah,
I was going to say the shots that are coming out that everybody's complaining about are from Disney World.
Oh, okay.
So that's knoll. Obviously
the grassy.
That's
the grassy knoll.
That's the toughest for me because like the other things are like they're new Disney failures. But to go back and to ruin something so iconic for so many people, I think for me, that's why Splash Mountain is so rough. Because the first thing I did in any Disney, if it was there, the first thing I did is I ran to Splash Mountain.
No. The first thing was you got a turkey leg. Then you went to
Turkey Mountain, or turkey leg, and then to Splash Mountain.
You pass a turkey leg stand on the way to Splash Mountain. Completely. Emu.
Emu.
I'm sorry, emu.
I'm just
emu
trying to
bike.
keep you straight here. Make sure
There's
your story's
just
straight.
you literally like the best way to start your day at a Disney park is to get like blasted by this big thrill, a bunch of adrenaline, and then you land in the water and you hear zippity doo dah, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm at Disney.
Mine
Well,
was Big
X-Wing-
Thunder Mountain.
X-Wing, did
Mine
you
was
ever
big.
do the Disney World one? Did you ever do?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay.
You guys had two seats
Mhm.
next to each
Two
other.
seats.
Well,
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird.
There's a different ride length between the two.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I think it was 13, 14 minutes. Like it was the longest attraction Disney had that was like an actually thrill ride.
Right, and you actually
And-
see the train, like the train goes through.
Goes
and
through,
you can,
yeah.
Yep.
yeah, you can see.
That was one of
Mhm.
those rides that legitimately they could have left it there forever, and it would
Mhm.
never have faded into obscurity because it's so important. That
We would always,
doo-dah
yeah,
after the big yeehaw like that. I mean, that is Disney.
we would
The
always run
laughing
over there
place-
during the parade
Oh.
because there was nobody in the line, so we'd always run over there during
Yeah.
the parade. And
Yeah.
I have my favorite getting evac'd story from Splash Mountain in Disney World.
Happened to me.
What?
Yep.
You?
I got
Um,
evac'd on Splash Mountain, and when we got back to the hotel, we found out that it was because somebody got killed on the ride. He
Oh!
got out, and the crazy thing is when they were taking us, we were like 4 logs behind him, and when they were taking us out. I mean, it was frantic. I mean, the cast members were running around. We had suits already there, and so
The G-men.
yeah, seriously,
Yeah, yeah.
they had the big guys already coming down real quick. And as we're going out, I was all excited. I'm like taking pictures of the ride with the lights on and everything. And after we got out, my wife, she didn't like Splash Mountain, but she was going to go on it because it was our one trip to Disney World and whatever. And so as we're walking out, I was like, "You can relax. You don't have to go on it." And she's all, "You didn't see him?" And I said, "See who?" She's all, "There was a guy under the log." And she saw the guy's head like underneath the log. It was crazy. So yeah,
No way.
she only went on Splash Mountain one time after that, and that was in 2000. This happened in 2000, and
Just
just
don't get
before
out of the
Splash
boat.
Mountain.
Don't get out
Yeah,
of the
exactly. And he got out right when it was like the conveyor belts were moving the logs and pacing
Yeah,
everything.
You got pinched.
Yeah, it was.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was crazy. But the way the cast members were freaking out, they were freaking out.
Holy cow.
So,
All right. And the
Jay always
final
misses
one,
these things.
the final one is the continually broken Rise of the Resistance. I think that the fact they put so much money into that ride and it has not worked an entire day or has
Really?
ever got back to the original operating
It's the
Yeah.
most
mode.
broke
How-
down
so-
ride in the history of all rides.
That was
So
the
how-
one ride I went through that worked.
So
But
how long
wasn't-
does it
but
usually go
wasn't
for?
It wasn't A mode. It wasn't actually fully working. It has not
Oh.
fully worked since it opened.
So what do you mean by that? Like, they're like, okay, how long does a good ride go for? Like,
Well, what I mean by this is that first of all, it hasn't been the A mode since January 2020.
And
Right.
A
So
mode
there-
means like all lights are green. We're
everything's
good.
functioning.
all effects
All right.
working as they were intended.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's basically B mode is you're watching movies. A mode is like animatronics, right?
Wow.
And the
Yes.
biggest is the biggest disaster that has look, thank God I got to ride it once or twice full A mode, and it is not even compared to what it is in B mode. It is a different ride. Now, the one thing, and Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, the one thing that I have been on it when I thought it was almost all A mode again, except for the moving guns in the Star
cannons.
Destroyer.
Yeah,
Cannons have
I-
stopped moving. The music has stopped every freaking time
That's
I've
what I
ridden that
noticed.
thing.
Was the freaking the destroyer
They
cannons
don't
didn't
move,
go.
and that is the coolest. That is one of the coolest
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you
remember
want,
that from Revenge of the Sith when the cannons were going off on.
so
the,
have you been on an A mode?
yes, I have been on. Full
Yeah, I've
A
been on
mode
it.
with the cannons
Okay.
moving. I have actually a 360 video of that on my channel.
So-
but yes, it's
Is there
it's
a
amazing.
C mode?
Yeah, you can.
Probably.
I guess you can say that. It's called evacuation.
Yeah.
I mean,
ride, and I was just like, it was. I hate the sequels. I can't even begin to tell you how much I hate it. I still enjoyed myself.
that's a
Like,
good.
the
It's a
ride
good
was
ride
cool.
when it's working. When it's
Yeah.
working, it's a very inventive.
So once if you pay
multi-stage
for
ride.
a fast pass and it doesn't work that day?
You
The
get a
fast
refund.
pass, you get it. No, you get a any use also.
Any
you either
use,
get a refund
yeah.
or any use.
The first day you have to like wake up super early in the morning and like try to book it. The first time it didn't work. The second time we got it, and yeah, I mean it was more or less a walk on, and the ride was awesome, but it's just that's a Star Wars talk. Not
I wonder if there's
talk.
actually statistics behind this, like how often it actually breaks down compared to other bigger parks in the same city.
It is the most.
It's not.
That ride has a record of most break. I don't know what it is. It breaks down for
every day at like 10
every
a.m.
day. Yeah, it's like it's on clockwork. They rushed putting that thing together, and listening to the people talk about it. It and Tom, please correct me, but it runs on Wi-Fi. So if the Wi-Fi has like a blip
and magnets,
the whole ride shuts down.
Yeah.
Then they've got to reboot the whole router system. Then they've got to reboot everything. It takes forever to get that thing turned on.
And the interesting thing is you look at that and you look at Ratatouille and Disneyland Paris, which never really had the issues. It never really had
look at Flight of Passage.
Well, it's a different ride system.
It's a different ride.
Yeah, that's California. What did they call that? Soaring California was where they started it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those are projection rides, and they're I'm talking about moving through space. So like it's a trackless system.
The trackless, magnet in the ground one.
Ratatouille is a trackless. Mickey and Minnie's trackless. Mystic Manor over in
is that Shanghai or Tokyo? I don't remember. It's their haunted mansion one.
And the Winnie the Pooh ride and the new Beauty and the Beast ride in Tokyo. I want to do that. That looks amazing. It's the best Imagineering I've seen in a long time.
True.
But the point is they've had years of Disneyland Paris running Ratatouille, no issues. And it's the same technology.
Came first, though?
Ratatouille came well before that.
Ratatouille's first. They adopted the magnets in the floor trackless ride system.
I think actually even before Ratatouille there was a
so it actually uses Wi-Fi to do a lot of
the individual cars talk to the main computer and they're being told what speeds to go. Now the main problem, the reason why the cannons don't work, is the ride has to calculate your weight so the cannon can move and stop you at the right time. So the cannon goes in front of you. Then you go, then the cannon goes in front of you again, and you go. And the problem, I think, is the processing time in between to weigh the vehicle, calculate the speed, and it's just easier for them to do the B mode for the cannons. I will say when they were moving in front of you, that was the coolest effect.
Right. Like that was make it manual. Have some guy back there hitting a button.
I would think it'd be hilarious putting him in the outfit.
I mean, we don't think about that, but Tom's right. It has to weigh you because it has to know just how much force to push the vehicle, because if it does it too much, it could give people whiplash. If it's moving you too quick, and if it moves too slow, now you've got the cannon coming in and colliding with the vehicle. So it's actually a very intricate system, but which begs the question: why did you do it if it was going to be this much of an issue? It sucks because they did it, and it's like everybody says, it's one of the coolest effects, but they can't get it working.
You could have done a secondary way to do it, basically, without moving. So if you cut the cannons in half and had them move above, you could do it in a way where they wouldn't be like as much issue with the ride vehicles. But like I said, when this ride works, and I think Disneyland has less issues with this than Disney World.
I don't know, man. I've been evac'd off that thing, I think, like 5 times, and if compared to all the other rides combined in my entire life going to Disneyland. So that's more than I've been evac'd on any other attraction.
So I want to do the Rise of the Resistance challenge with X-Wing. So whenever you get to Florida, we've got to go to and don't worry, we'll be rich. You got to go to Hollywood Studios, ride the Rise of Resistance, go to the airport, fly all the way to California, and go to that Galaxy's Edge and ride the Rise of Resistance there all in one day.
That's a heck of a gamble, man.
That can possibly
only
work.
A few people have pulled it off. But Adam DeWoo pulled off. He pulled off.
I was muted. We'll have a G6 though, right? We're not flying commercial. We're taking a G6.
Oh, we gotta go. It's got to be commercial. And we got to film it.
What is it with the Greyhound buses in Southwest, bro?
You got 50 grand for that.
Adam
G6,
DeWoo
man?
did
I'm just saying.
he did Thunder Mountain Challenge. He rode the Thunder Mountain at Magic Kingdom in the morning and went to Orlando Airport, took an Uber there, flew first class all the way to Disneyland.
Oh, we're flying first class? Okay, that's a
and
little
got
different.
got into Disneyland and was able to ride the Thunder Mountain an hour before park closed.
So my
one day.
only question is why?
Why do it?
Yeah,
For
Why
content.
not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just see if
Just
it
so
can be
you
done.
could say you did it.
If you just say do it for the gram, then fine. You know what? We'll go do it.
Because we're men and we have to conquer these things.
Okay, it's the highest mountain.
Because it's there.
And
You know what would have been a
then
really awesome one? Would have been Splash Mountain and Splash Mountain before it closed.
Oh, and Splash Mountain Tokyo.
Yeah.
Thank you for JT Late Night with Cap gifting 1 membership. Welcome to the Zortaholics. Why so Darius? How you doing? Welcome. Throw the Zortaholics in the chat for the new member. All right. So out of the 3, we know the real biggest failure is the Star Cruiser, just monetarily speaking. But
I
don't
voted
know.
for the
Splash
Star Cruiser
Mountain
before you told me the story about the ride, and I would assume that I would pick the ride over the hotel because it seems like more people would be disappointed with the ride because more people go to the ride, right? No one went to the Star Cruiser.
It's hard. So it's also hard to actually say what Tiana's is going to be like. But I will say they have cut back. I think it was now down to 16 animatronics, and they used to have 60 in the ride for Splash Mountain.
Yeah, see,
So
I would
they
be
cut-
I would be more disappointed with the ride because more people.
I mean,
it's
two different categories. Look, one was a Disney failure at an attempt at something new. The other one is a bastardization of your history and letting something go due to peer pressure of social.
One was a financial failure. One was,
and the other one was a failure to your fans, to your fan base, to people who have absolutely loved your park and supported you through years and years and years, who cried that they don't want this to happen. So for me, the biggest park failure, Splash Mountain, hands down.
For me, I'd say it's
Star Cruiser. I see.
Yeah, see, Star Cruiser, yes, it was probably a bigger financial failure, but like X-Wing was saying, it was they were attempting something new. So, and they ended up writing off a lot of it. With Splash Mountain, they're sinking well over 200 million between the 2 parks to redo something that's not going to add any capacity or anything to the parks.
Maybe reduce.
It's going to be just as popular as it was before. So why bother, putting $200 million into this?
Do you think it will be though? Because a lot of reasons why Splash Mountain was popular was the music, and none of the music for Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be from the movies. It's all original pieces.
Yeah, seriously? But if you go to any theme park, if there's a log ride, it's crowded. On a warm day, everybody wants to get wet. At Knott's Berry Farm, that log ride has no IP, nothing that and no real attachment that anybody would have. But it's always got an hour and a half, 2 hour line on the hot summer
cool
days.
Is that Pirates is going to be there, so I'll go ride that.
That's not really. I wish Pirates had a bigger drop. Like I wish they would
Pirate ride.
Hey, we could do that. We could do that, X-Men. We could dress as pirates. Do Pirates
in California, Florida.
Keep the freaking pirate hats on. Get on an airplane with a backpack. We're not staying long. Fly all the way to California. Ride Pirates there, and have a pint.
No, the Pirates ride is better in Disneyland. I'll tell you that much.
Disneyland is better. Shanghai is the best, I think, according to Jay. I haven't done it yet.
Shanghai is super dope, but it's a lot of screens.
Man, you're on the Black Pearl, man, in Shanghai. That's freaking awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, but you gotta eat at the Disneyland. There's a restaurant
you can eat at the Shanghai one too.
Oh, didn't know that.
Oh, Big Rob, get out of here, Big Rob.
Thank you for the $10, Big Rob. Love watching theme park stuff. You guys are awesome, except X-Wing. My buddy Chris Provost, I'm assuming that's Provost Park Pass, is pretty decent at Disney videos. Always fun going to the parks with him. Fine, X-Wing, you're awesome too. I don't know if Chris Provost is Provost Park Pass.
That guy's a savage, by the way. He's that's a ranger.
So I think we all agree Splash Mountain kind of actually is the biggest. It's going to be the worst long term.
Yeah, long term it probably will be, but just going like if you went to Disney World just for the Resistance ride, you're like, yeah, and it like fails on you. That's just disappointing.
Well, it's your fault for being a sequels fan. That's all I'll say.
All right, we are on to getting close to the end here, I believe. Let me make sure. Did I skip one? No. All right, here we are. best new merch.
Oof.
So I picked 3 out that I saw the most interesting. And obviously, I think I know which one's going to win just because you can't get it anymore. And I have him here. You all know Zowl. You all know Zowl. He's the universal shoulder buddy that comes with me.
I'm just gonna vote for the owl.
He's gonna go for the owls. I'll put the poll in the chat right now. We're ending the other one. I know Zal's gonna win, but hey, I will say BD1. I have to thank. It gave me like 100 new subs for the little short. So thank you, BD1.
I got a miniature BD1 from you.
Yes, you did. You you won one.
Hey.
You should do like BB1 Adventures. Like you should have did like a whole series.
Oh, I plan to. I'm working on that.
BD1 was like one of the new things they've done with droids in the past, 5-6 years that I was like, I like.
He kind of looks like a Wally, aka
he's a total
short circuit.
Yeah, total Wally.
Now, I will say the other thing in there is Yoda's saber, which I actually think is a good design for them. They made it lighter. They have an internal battery. It's a different blade design, and I do think that's actually a correct move for their saber manufacturing. I don't know why they're switching back and forth.
Someone's questioning your poll decision.
Well,
we are.
But we get the veto.
Yeah.
Oh, but you said it was the. Is this like? Wow, this is like
executive
the US
veto
here.
Executive veto.
Did you have some votes?
Remember, Disney won when Universal was winning for the Christmas stuff. So that happened before too. No one said anything.
This is bad.
Oh wait,
I don't care what you said.
Recount.
I have not seen one person buy that. 100%. Even like the shill Disney Star Wars people that normally buy those sabers, I have not seen anyone buy.
Not only did they not buy the saber, they didn't read the book.
Yeah, that's. I will say BD1 at the price is pretty good. Zowl was $55, discounted down to $40.
How much is BD? 48? Like $120?
100.
Straight 100. That's not
straight
bad,
100,
dude.
And your discount will work if you're an annual pass holder, since it's not a custom one. So it'll go down to like
because the regular
89.
Build-A-Droid was like 120, right?
And there's no discount, no discount for that. Yeah. Now, there is
R5.
There are rumors that they might start bringing a different design BD to the custom droid, which I'm hoping they do. But also, if you haven't seen the BD droids walking around Disneyland,
there's 3 of them, right?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That's what they're called. Theme park. Have you seen those in person yet?
I have not seen them in person.
So, does the owl talk to you if you talk back? Does it talk back to you?
Yes, he does talk. He's off right now because.
Is it supposed to be like a little Hedwig?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I'll turn him on. Hello, Zowl. Hello. I'm holding his wings.
That's your Disney
Zowl,
quality
speak.
right there.
It's universal.
Oh.
See, that's like Harry Potter, right? Like your owl.
Yeah. They had a lot of them there
Hedwig.
on
Was it Hedwig?
Hedwig, yeah.
Hedwig was Harry's owl.
They had a lot of them there. I was there New Year's Eve for a little bit because my nephews wanted to go. First time for them to go to Universal, so we went a little bit Christmas Eve morning, and I saw a lot of people with these. So I was looking to see if they were back. No, he is normally very chatty on streams.
Do they have like a whole owlery at Universal where you can like pick what owl?
No, it's not. It's not like the Banshees.
Owlery.
It's not like the Banshees. It would be cool if they did it like the Banshees.
That's what it's called, an owlery.
Owlery. I wish they did something similar to the Banshees where they had different color owls and you could go and name them.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You get your own owl.
I think that's called a rookery, an Ekron
rookery. Do you have a Banshee? X-Wing?
No. I was so lost when I went to Avatar Land. I was just like, my brain shut down completely.
Avatar Land? Is that Pandora?
Pandora World of Avatar. All right, yeah. I think we can probably say that the owl from Harry Potter probably wins.
I really wish
that
Yoda saber.
You're gonna actually check your poll.
I'm checking the poll. It's 57%. I'm gonna close it since we have pretty much about 21 votes so far. So if anyone else decides to vote, I'm sorry, but Zowl wins. He
I'm
would be
trying
back
to
in
think
stock.
back of all the stuff that we bought, Tom.
I wasn't putting like popcorn buckets because I don't know if that's. I was thinking that should be a different.
That's merch, man. That's like the Chucky popcorn bucket,
which almost was the same price as the owl. Like what, $40?
the Chucky
Was it 40?
popcorn bucket was pretty impressive.
You
could say, hey, Chucky, and it like the eyes turn on and it talks to you. That's pretty
That's
wild.
creepy.
I'm wondering if they actually took some of that technology to make the owl. Like they started with the Chucky bucket. And
Universal's coming for you, Disney. They're coming for you. Man.
Maybe next year you can have a category of best popcorn bucket.
Yeah, or sipper.
Yeah, $40 for an animatronic collectible you can take home. That's pretty hard to argue with. Matt, what do you?
My trophy streaming awesomeness. Do you realize there's a theme parks, Matt? But I'm glad you got your Insta360 Flow. I hope you have fun with it. I've enjoyed using it. Zowl's winning just because I had to come up with these last minute kind of. I worked 2 weeks, and that's what we do. Park hopping needs to do their own awards show, which would be like, so I'll be like the Emmys, and park hopping would be like the Oscars.
I do think park hopping, when I get back in town, I leave in the morning to get back in town a day early. I think park hopping is going to do, like, we're going to talk over like how we feel about all the Christmas stuff we did. So,
all right. Also, remember to follow Park Hopping's Instagram.
Can we give an honorable mention to Disney on how bad they messed up the lightsabers? It's incredible. And I'll tell you why. Because a small shop in China has created some of the most incredible sabers brought to the consumer at $100 to $120. I'm talking about lighting effects that go up and down that don't go clunk, 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 clunk. It's an actual up and down saber, smooth swing, everything for like $120. And then Disney comes out with literal Subway sandwiches for like $100.
Yeah, but Subway sandwiches are good.
They're not. Yeah, but
I X-Wing, I will say you are 100% right on a lot of them. I have Cal Kestis over here, and that thing is like
it's a lot thicker than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, and I will say Kanan's is actually really nice. I looked at that last time I was there, and Kanan's saber is very light. It has the right dimensions and everything like that. But yeah,
they knock like one or two.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. I have the original Darth Vader Galaxy's Edge lightsaber. The hilt looks amazing, and it's heavy, but the lightsaber is not. It stopped working. And
the electronics are horrible.
It's all broken, and Disney. If you walk out of the park with it, they will not. You cannot exchange it.
Yep.
My Kestis changes blade colors when I turn it on now.
Wait! You leave the park and it breaks, and you can't exchange it.
That is 100% the policy.
And this is where Universal does also outshine. If you have a Harry Potter wand and anything happens to it while you're inside the park, you just go up and they replace it.
But what happens if you leave the park?
I had mine replaced. It got messed up in the locker, and I just went over and like, hey, this got bent in the locker because it was hot out. Like, okay, and they just come back and bring you your new wand.
Do they sell extended warranties on these things?
No, I literally this was like 2 years after I bought that wand, and I walked in no receipt.
You get letters in the mail.
2005 Master Replicas, they did a much better job than Disney did in the 2020s, which is just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling.
Yeah. Most people do.
That's also because they cared more. Yeah. So Zal wins. We are going on to the next, and I think we can understand this. We have best Halloween event. Again, I'm sorry about Knott's Berry. I know Not Scary Farm. I will have 4 next time. I'm apologizing to Theme Park Casual mainly because X-Wing didn't even know where Knott's Berry Farm was.
Nope.
So
he probably lives around the corner from it.
It's right up there, back door. All right, we're gonna start the poll and best Halloween because these are like really. I'm gonna say
before you finish, Tom.
Yeah,
Dawn is in the chat, and Dawn had a Universal Studios week planned tomorrow. but she
Yeah, I was
had to
planning to see
cancel.
her.
She had to cancel it because someone around her got sick, and she could tell in the chat, but she had to cancel it, and it was very sad because I thought she was gonna be here for a couple days that we could see her. But yeah, she had to cancel it just now. She just said good customer service by Universal. So.
Yeah, we were DMing earlier because I was supposed to see her Saturday.
That's too bad.
So yeah, it sucks that we're still in that time frame where you can get your stuff canceled and all that because of stuff. But can't wait to. Hopefully, you'll be able to schedule that for a better time. And
Dawn's an awesome supporter of so many channels.
Yeah.
She's always there. She's always cheering us on. She's always in the chat. She's always doing anything. So,
unlike Matt Vader, who's just, I mean,
you miss another one, Tom. Another event.
I know I have. I'll get to Vegas when the HHN in Vegas opens up year round. Then I'll get to Vegas. I don't know which one that was because a lot of them had that.
That's SeaWorld. SeaWorld.
So,
vampire strippers.
So
I watched yours, and I was like, I don't want to go.
That's one we might have to skip. X-Wing. The SeaWorld Halloween gets a little. I mean, those girls like down dress. So
they touched too.
Whatever I watched, I don't know where it was that you went. I don't remember when it was. You were talking, you're like, hey, if, you gotta have a fast pass so we can get through this. And I watched the stuff that was going on. I don't like the horror stuff. I'm not a big horror. I'll watch the movies, but I don't want people coming to me with chainsaws. I don't want voodoo dudes like cursing me as I'm walking through a theme park.
Voodoo dudes.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll say this. Sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to cut you. I will say this. For what it's worth, X-Wing, if you've watched some of the classic horror movies, and when Universal does the houses to match the films, they are spot on.
I know. That's why I don't want to do it.
It's just really cool to see like the Michael Myers house.
I'm with you, X-Wing.
X-Wing
together.
You can do it with me. I make
Krista
the haunted
did it.
mountain.
Come on, man.
I make the haunted mountain houses so much easier for other people because I just walk through oblivious and say, "Well, hey, nice makeup," and it just de-escalates.
I can't do the clowns.
I can't do the
clowns.
I don't like demons. I don't like evil, dark stuff. Like I'm not that guy. And then on top of that, didn't they do last year? They did the Last of Us. They did the Last of Us house.
That was this year's HHN, which actually was really good.
That would freak me out.
Really well
I played that game and it gave me nightmares. The first Last of Us, when it came out, I played that game and it gave me absolute nightmares.
I will say Hollow Scream is more like Horror Night type of deal. Jay is entirely right. It's a bunch of pretty much strippers a lot of the times and a lot of booty cheeks. It's not really scary. I know it's not scary.
But enough about you, really. Tom.
Yeah. So we also have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is the only like single day ticket event. Now, both for Hollow Scream and Halloween Horror Nights, I believe in both areas, and any of the Hollow Screams, you can get a season pass. And it's Halloween Horror Nights was like about $1,000 this year with Express Pass. That's more than my regular annual pass for Universal for a whole year. But you need that Express Pass. It's necessary.
It's $1,000 just to do the horror houses?
No, so there was.
Are you
can get the?
I'm confused about how you guys gauge out these passes and stuff you have to do.
All right, so I didn't get the top tier Halloween Horror Nights pass this year. I got the one below, and that cost me $700, and that was $300 just for the season pass, then another $300 something for the Express Pass for the entire time. So I could go into all the houses. Right
that
away.
Includes the whole year at Universal.
Well, that includes the whole HHN season. So the 48 days or 40 days.
Does not include regular admission to the park.
No, then I
only
have another
the Halloween event.
So yeah,
then I have another. Then I have another $700 pass for that.
Okay, I'll stop talking.
This is not a cheap thing to do.
Oh my gosh,
X-Wing. The Theme parks are not cheap.
Do you eat during the day? Do you like? You got your
Do I
bills
have
paid?
food?
Yeah.
Do I eat during the day? Oh, it's his he eating during the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I
Have
think
you
it's just
paid your
chocolate.
I pay my bills. It's all good.
pay your electricity paid?
Wait, the HHN experience has gone down faster than a toupee in a hurricane? I don't know. And hello, Kaylee, new to the chat. Welcome. I have fun at HHN, but I do also understand that the food and beverages have gone down in the past year or two since I've been there.
Agreed.
The houses though, houses were good this year. The scare actors were less. The Megans were cool if you could find them. Like they did the whole Megan dancing,
like the robot
together.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you could find them, it was really cool. But I never found them. Like it was the hardest thing to find I could think of. My personal pick would be Hollowscream just because it's only $100 for the same amount of time as HHN. The houses are fun. You can get a lanyard for food during the entire event. So personal in mind, Mickey's Not So Scary is too kid oriented, and it's basically like an after hours event to go on rides. They have some cool
That's where you
character
take the little
interactions.
one.
Yeah, that's for
Did you have to pay $500 to get into that one, or
that's
All right,
150,
hold on.
180?
X-Men, hold on. If you have the top tier annual pass to Universal, you get a free ticket to Halloween Horror Nights.
okay,
On a select
all
day.
of the parts, or
Right?
all of the house areas, or
Yeah,
whatever?
well, you can do all the houses, but I would still get an
so you
express
can
pass, though.
go, and if you want to get the fast passes, which we always do, because you don't have to wait in line, you get all the houses done early. You can go to the food. They have specialty drinks. They have like Chucky Burger. Well, they did this past year, and it's more fun than you think. All right, it's definitely for a little more adult. The Mickey Not So Scary Halloween does sell out. And yeah, you got to pay an extra $50, $60.
It's a little bit more than that now. I think it's like 80.
Yeah, I'm thinking annual pass prices, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably $100. And then SeaWorld is a less expensive, but they do have alcohol and same type of like jump scare houses, but it's not really IP'd. So when you go to Universal, so Universal makes more money from September to the end of October during Halloween Horror Night than they do all year. And they put on a spectacular show. Like
but it's slammed. It has to be slammed then. That's why you have to get
why
those fast passes.
Well, and you also plan your day. So if you like, I have the annual pass where I get a free ticket. So I just use my free ticket. You go on a Wednesday night. It's not as crowded like in September when it's open. You can get the fast passes. They're not as expensive in September as they are in October. And you have a good time with all your friends. Like you see people jump around. Some of the haunted houses are not haunted houses. They're like fun houses. You know, the classic Monsters was really cool. You get to see the Mummy and Dracula and all that stuff. And they had the like it's just stuff like that. So, you know, you just
Michael
pick
Myers
what you
one
want
last
to
year
do.
was great.
If you've never done it, you should do it. I say you should do it at least once.
It looks cool.
Just to see if it's your thing. But it's like it's more of like a big party, too.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
that's going on. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, Tom. I was just trying to like.
So if you were gonna
$500 is like paying for September to October.
Yeah.
So those are people that like to go, and that's including a fast pass on the ticket. So you're paying like the top tier thing for 2 months, and those are people. A lot of vloggers use that. I know I did last year, and because you're going and recording and you're getting things like that, and you're doing stuff, and people that live close by like to go and experience it. But once you've done the houses once or twice, then you know it's like you don't need to do it again unless you're like a fanatic. But the Halloween Horror Night stuff, people collect that merch. Those T-shirts become valuable. Those popcorn buckets become valuable. They sell like limited edition stuff there that you just can't get anytime or anywhere else in the world. That stuff becomes like really valuable. And
like
so
once a year. And now if you want that Michael shirt, you can only get it from the 2017 Halloween Horror Night.
And it just becomes a big, it just becomes a big fun thing. Now going through the haunted houses with Tom is a little annoying because Tom doesn't get scared. He just looks at him and goes, "Hello, hi, I'm Tom. Hi, hello, hello." And it's just like you're ruining for me, man. Let me go in front of you. So
I get
But
stuck in the moment. I'm like, this is real. I'm gonna die.
My
I'm with
favorite
you.
part. My favorite part of
Yeah,
Halloween Horror Nights this year is I was going through and I broke a character actor. Like one of the clickers in The Last of Us literally pointed at Zort and did like a heart and was like pointing, and I'm like, all right, that was fun. Like when you could break a scare
I
actor
go
for
with
your-
Ryan. I go with Ryan and my brother, and Ryan is freaking hilarious. So it's awesome.
Hey man, people ask about the shoes.
Are you getting those French fry shoes?
Oh yeah, he's got the doggers, the dogdoms. Every little toe is taken care of in that shoe.
They're comfy, man. I don't get blisters, and I walk around theme parks all day. So
I want him to wear the French fry shoes where he has French fries on the whim on his feet with ketchup.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have to go move a box.
Yeah, you didn't put anything from SoCal and
I don't
California
know what the
Adventure.
Boogie Bash. Boogie Bash.
Yeah,
would be
Boogie Bash is
in that with Mickey's Not So Scary.
yeah,
That's
that is the hottest ticket at Disneyland. And I went for the first time this year, and I was always just, I had no interest in it whatsoever. It was like, going and walking next to some of the villains, not a big deal to me. The parade, I can watch it on a video or whatever. But the one thing I did want to see was Villains Grove, and it's a walkthrough area.
Ooh, okay.
And far and away worth the price of admission to that event. It is absolutely the coolest thing out of any Halloween event that I've done.
So what is the price for Boogie Bash? Because I know it's a little bit higher than Mickey's.
Yeah, it's I think 150 to I think it gets up to a 180 on certain nights.
And how are the hours the same? Like it's about 5 hours, 6 hour party, or
yeah, I think it's from 6 to 11, but you get to mix in at 3 p.m.
Oh, okay. All right. That seems worth it. It's almost this day ticket.
Yeah, it is. Villains Grove, like I said, there is something about how they did it, and all it is mood. So they take the area where it's like just like little kids like playground area over in the Redwood area in California Adventure, and they convert it to just little sections dedicated to the different villains. So you start off with Frollo, and then you go to Maleficent and Queen of Hearts, and then Scar, and then Facilier, and then the old hag. And it's just mood. They just do they play like ethereal style music. They do lighting and special effects and things like that. Little whispers of, words and things. And it just sets such an incredible mood. And then you come up at the end and it's like this ethereal, it's like the happy ending happens. And that sounded weird. You get the happily ever after ending. Sorry.
I wonder it's a hot.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, best experience of my life. You should try it anytime you can. But no,
it was.
You walk out and you just there's no words. I was stunned when I went through it, and I had seen it on videos, and I thought this is going to be cool. It's going to be amazing. I was not prepared for how cool it was. It was. I'm upset that Disney kind of put all the villains into this one thing, because I'd love to see like 3 or 4 of these at the event. I would love to go through as many of these as possible. I keep trying to figure out a way to contact Knott's and tell them you need to do one of these for Scary Farm. Get away from the jump scares, get away from all the little slasher stuff, and do something that just has a good mood.
It sounds like a good.
Does Knott's Berry Farm? Oh, sorry, Tom.
Well, no, it just seems like a good people's like a people eat, like something like what Carousel of Progress used to be, or something like that, where people will go in and take time and it'll lessen some of the other things because you have your time to go through it.
Yeah,
so,
but the day I went, it was not very crowded in that area for whatever reason. But it was, like I said, it was my favorite thing. I did it 3 times that night, and I'm upset because it's like I don't want to spend the money on a ticket, but I'm dying to get back into Villains Grove.
Does Knott's Berry Farm do anything with the Great Pumpkin with the peanuts?
No, they just this was the first year without one of the mazes called Pumpkin Eater, but they don't do anything with the Great Pumpkin. So I'm pretty sure they leave the They do stuff in the daytime that's like they call it not spooky farm, where it's more family oriented.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
they do like the costume contest and pie eating contest and stuff like that for the kids, and they do little trick or treating. But they don't do it. I don't think they may have like a little photo op, but that's about it.
You know what they do here in Nevada? They stick everybody on a tractor and they drag you through these dead cornfields. And then they hire about like 200 people who are really out of work. And they're like, put on these zombie masks and some jumpsuits.
They should just do that through the Vegas tunnels.
You're going to run through the cornfield at the tractor. And then they give everybody on the tractor ride a paintball gun. And they're like, get the zombies before they get you.
Yeah, they do that in Arizona too. And they all
You get training.
There were some in Texas as well. Yeah, they're fun.
It's
but
all right.
They should do that through the Vegas tunnels, the tunnel people. That would be.
So, you don't have to hire any actors.
So the poll in the chat is closed, and Hollow Scream won out over the most. I think the Villains Grove sounds really cool. I wish Disney World would do something similar. They don't. But I think Jay, I'll ask you. Do you think between Hollow Scream and Halloween Horror Nights, which would be the better value?
Well, probably SeaWorld, but if you like it again, if you have the annual pass, you get a free ticket to go to Universal.
But if you were just traveling for that week, what would be the best one to make sure you do?
I can't miss Halloween Horror Night. It is just an event. I just
can't. Is it the IP? Is that what it is?
It's like, all of it, man. It's all of it. And I agree with Tom. The food this year sucked, but last year I thought they did a great job with like.
They did do a good job last year. It was really good.
They were selling like raw meat, but it was like Rice Krispie treats that looked like raw beef. It's stuff like that. They did stuff like that made it fun. And I don't know, man. I just like Halloween Horror Nights has a special play. I just don't want to miss it. Even if I just go once. Hollow Scream I missed this year completely. I just ran out of time. But I've done it in the past and I've enjoyed it a lot. But I gotta.
I've never done any of this.
I gotta go with Universal.
All right, cool.
I think Universal and Hollow Scream definitely have an edge over Disney. Disney World did a while back offer a season pass for Mickey's Not So Scary. It was a long time ago, but you could give a season pass for that. I think just because of value, I kind of have to lean towards Halloween Horror Nights a little bit, just because it does go on a little longer and it is open later. So you do have more time there. So I'm sorry to the chat, but Halloween Horror Nights does win out. And since I wanted to keep this around 2 hours, I wanted to keep this around 2 hours. We're going to skip forward to an award specifically designed for Jay. We have an award specifically designed for Jay, so we're going to skip to that one. Just a little fun.
Is it the best
special little boy? Who's our most specialist little boy?
Best park bathroom. Now, there is a video on park hopping that goes over this subject, but I've listed what I would consider 3 of.
You don't have the best one in there.
Which one's your best one?
Dude, Animal Kingdom Avatar bathrooms are savage. Those are so cool. They've got the rusted steps with the RDA.
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
Are you talking about clean? Are you talking about clean bathrooms or? Like
I'm talking about the best park bathroom has to do with both a place you can take a number 2 and not get judged. So there are some of those that are too small.
What do you mean not get judged? How is that a criteria? Is there somebody like you're not doing it right?
Who's judging you?
I will say I have the Germany Pavilion in here. Beer Garden. The bathroom for the Beer Garden restaurant, which is the bathroom for the Germany Pavilion, is like a mile walk to get to. If you're going to take a number 2, you're away from everyone. It's air conditioned. It's nice and cool. You have to understand.
It should have been called Tom's Safe Spaces.
Yeah.
But I do have Men in Blacks, which Jay also listed in the park hopping video for being nice air conditioned bathroom.
Are these clean? Like, are they clean?
Yes, they are all clean. And I did put Galaxy's Edge because I do think they actually have an interesting design.
Man, Galaxy's Edge does have a really cool bathroom, but
not as cool as Avatar.
When it's hot, which is always in Florida, that Men in Black bathroom has like the most. That bathroom is cranking like no one's business. Like that AC is.
It's like 62 degrees in there.
Dude, the Harry Potter bathrooms at Islands of Adventure are horrible. It smells like
they're so bad.
Like, it is
so
awful. It is
Harry Potter bathrooms are bad
at Islands of Adventure, not the ones at Universal, but the ones at Islands are really, really like they stink.
That would have been hilarious to have like a little speaker kind of around the bathroom. She's like, "Oh, look at that one!" Like moaning Myrtle floating around, just like making fun of you. That'd be hilarious.
I don't think JK would have signed off for that.
Do they have bathroom attendants in these bathrooms?
There are no bathroom attendants that I know of. They used to have one for the bathroom outside of Victoria and Albert's, but that was like
all I know is the bathroom between Frontierland and Adventureland and Disneyland. It's horrible. It's like
that one's bad.
It's crammed. It always smells.
You're talking about the one that looks like kind of like it's Adobe.
Yeah, like it's like right between. It's like right in the middle between Adventureland and Frontierland, and it's
almost like the first stall you could probably be seen from the outside. And
it's horrible. It's a very, very awful bathroom.
Before they changed it, the bathroom over by Peter Pan and Magic Kingdom, before they made it Tangled, that thing, there was like literally an inch of urine always throughout the entire thing, because that's where the little kids had to go out afterwards.
Where all of a sudden the magic of Disney just like takes a really quick dip.
and that was during the 90s when they were doing things really well too, and it was still just like I wore like that day Magic Kingdom, we always wore high sneakers. It's like no sandals that day at all. We're gonna have to throw these out possibly afterwards, because if we have to go in that bathroom, like they're done.
Yeah,
nothing beats out a Buc-ee's bathroom, by the way. So just
that's a story for another time. If anybody really misses like 1996, 1997 Disneyland, I would highly suggest getting on a plane, fly French Bee. It's cheap. Go to Disney Paris, because it's basically like Disneyland California stuck in 1997. That's exactly what it feels like. It's wild.
I will say that same context, if you have the money, if you go to Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea over there, that is basically the pinnacle of any customer service Disney park ever in existence. Those parks
every other country is doing what we should be doing. Like one is so far progressed, they're bringing fresh, new, crazy experiences, and then Paris is like, we are going to stay here. 1997 was so great. We just stay here.
They still have the Eiffel Tower. I miss that. They still have the Eiffel Tower.
And believe it or not, the Haunted Mansion building in Paris is the same schoolhouse up in Virginia City, 15 minutes away from me. They modeled the house for the Haunted Mansion off of the schoolhouse in Virginia City, 15 minutes up the hill from me. It's like a haunted mining town.
That's the Western, right? They have the whole Western shootout at the end. Is that the
Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
Phantom Man.
That's cool.
Yeah, schoolhouse is
so cool.
Right there.
So do we have a consensus on? Does the chat? Did I even put the poll in the chat? Best bathroom.
I don't think we did.
I think next year we should just get a ballroom. We should do all of this live. Let's get
camera.
I
would consider that.
I've got the guy who does the AV for all of the Vegas Knights and the Raiders games. I say we just get a ballroom, get him. Let's make this happen. Let's do a real award show.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I would enjoy that.
We can all wear tuxedos like theme park.
Yeah.
Ruffled tuxedos.
Ruffled tuxedos.
I have my fancy Halcyon wear on.
A bowler hat on.
It's just this was smuggled out of the Halcyon. I have, it even has a little pin on it. Actually, I have.
Were you judged on it?
Well, here you go. Line Q.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I got that line Q with Jay for long enough that he was hoping that old ladies were going to fight. That's how long we were stuck in there. Jay, how long were we in that room?
Is Jay even?
I think he vanished.
No,
No, he's
I'm
here.
here.
Oh.
I'm trying not to overtalk people. I have a problem.
It's okay.
You're
You have a-
telling me.
I don't know how long we were in that room.
I think it was about an hour and 15 minutes. So like you walk through the really cool queue and then they put you in the loading room before you actually go into the ride. We made it
And it
all the way to
broke.
the loading room.
Yeah.
And we were stuck in that loading room for like an hour and 15 minutes.
I've been in a line where I'm like I want to do this ride, but I'm like
I was so upset because that was your first time riding it too.
Yeah. And the problem was the ride kept thinking that like they got done with their intro and the door would open and like 60 people would try to come in. We're like, no, no, like we haven't even gone yet. Turn around.
Wow.
And so all these people kept coming back down the hill and trying to load in and coming back down the hill.
Oh yeah,
and
that was so funny.
And then you remember the little kid was like, Dad, if I don't pee, I'm going to do it on the floor right now. And the dad is like, he's already in it 47 minutes. He's like, it's got to happen within like the next 5 minutes. And so he's like, he's struggling with his kid. Like, do we stick it out? Do I eventually?
No, that's worse.
He left. And then like 3 minutes later, they stuck us on the ride.
All right. So the poll is at 50-50 right now with 10 votes in. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds for any other deciding votes. My personal pick will be Germany just because it's the one I've used the most for that purposes. And
I didn't need to know that, but thanks. Now I know. Thanks.
I'll go with Galaxy Edge just because it's the most modern. Of course, it's going to be the nicest.
So we now know if you end your live stream around Germany, what you really are doing.
Whoa.
Sometimes you gotta when you gotta go.
That hat was questionable. Just saying.
Which hat? All right. Poll is we got 14% for Batu. Germany's winning out.
I'm just gonna pick Germany. For you.
And I'm gonna give it. And the next one will be similar, just because I think we all know. Germany lands of Tom's Boom Boom. Oh God. Honestly, you want to know the like Epcot Hollywood Studios area. If I gotta go, I'm taking somewhere to get to a hotel and using one of theirs because they're cleaner. The like public bathrooms in the hotels are cleaner than the park ones by miles, and less people use them because they're not really there. They're gonna go back to the hotel room. So little tip: if you really gotta go, like, and you think it's gonna be a bad one, get over to like a hotel somewhere in Disney property. It'll be
what a
nice
story, Tom. What a story.
I'm just trying to help out. I'm just trying to help people out. Sometimes people need to know this.
I don't need to know this.
No, you do need to know this.
I was going to say, you say that now, JT.
There is sometimes you don't know what's going to happen with you, your kid, and whatever.
The thing is, it's like Tom is talking about like going in the resorts, not like going into somebody's room.
I'm just saying going
I know
into
that.
like the public.
I just don't want to know where he's doing his business, I guess is what I'm saying. So.
I'm trying to give advice. The thing
Tom takes a dump everywhere, okay? So just anytime he talks about the bathroom, he's like dropping hog.
Ha, as Beardo would say.
All right, so we're gonna go on to the next more interesting, and this is best place to take a nap.
What are we doing here, kids?
Yeah, who's taking a nap?
Well, I've seen Jay laying down places in theme parks.
Yeah, I can sleep there. I know places.
I couldn't imagine being so bored at a park that you would sleep.
Yeah,
like I mean,
it's not bored.
The amount of money you have to spend to like get there, you're counting your steps between what used to be like fast pass stations. You would map out like your run on fast pass.
I see this
now
happening with more locals than
you're sleeping in a flower bed.
The thing is, when you live
travelers.
next door, X-Wing, you go all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is probably a more local thing.
In a that's like I'm going to a restaurant. I'm tired. Where are you going to sleep? I don't know. They got a fireplace in the restaurant.
Man, there's so many secret spots where you can just lay down and no one will even know you're there. It's pretty awesome.
I should have said maybe rides that you end up accidentally falling asleep in because
you need like a hoboing.
Well, I know there have been some people who've slept through. It's a Small World at Disneyland. I have seen that.
How could you sleep through that?
It's not
It's
that long
so
of a
loud.
ride.
I know people who
So
have
loud.
slept through that.
If you're
should get-
tired and it's hot, the House of Presidents will knock you right out. As cool as
Or-
it is so crisp and cool in there, and you could space out and it's just you sit in a chair that has you leaning back, and it's like off you go.
Wait,
Nighty-night.
wait.
I tried to do
How
that in a
can you-
Bug's Life once, and I like started to pass out, and then something licked the back of my heel, and I'm like, "Ah!"
How can you fall asleep on Pirates of the Caribbean? How?
No, he's right, and there are parts in Disneyland where you possibly could.
I don't think I've ever done Hall of Presidents.
I prefer American
like
Adventure
it.
to Hall of Paris, Hall of
I don't think I've
Presidents.
ever done it.
I like
It's not
that,
bad.
man.
Didn't they
It's
put
a
Joe
history-
Biden in there?
It's a history journey.
It's
I'm
it's
surprised they
good.
still have it up. To be honest.
We'll see what happens next term.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just like gently starting to fall asleep, and I hear, I was in the foothills of Minnesota when I'm awake.
all right. I
Anyway,
do have. All right. First of all, all right. Carousel of Progress. I really didn't want to put on this list just because I do love the show, but I have fallen asleep in there at like the end of a day with people that walk faster than me, and sometimes you can't. Also, I will say this: People Mover. If it's a nice, like, cool day in Magic Kingdom,
I've heard you can do other things in the People Mover too.
I've done both
is
of
that a
those things.
thing? Is it like a
Yeah.
Congress chamber? You can do whatever you want in there.
Well, there's cameras. Remember, there's cameras everywhere in Disney property, and Universal, and probably SeaWorld, and probably Knott's. So don't do what you're thinking.
You
But-
bet, Vader.
Have a
Why
good one,
we,
Vader.
You're working. Oh, it's only 6 here.
Carousel of Progress is winning. I thought Hall of Presidents would be higher for a nap, to be honest. American Adventure is also 45 minutes.
You know where
So
I could
that's
fall
not-
asleep would be Crush, the Crush Talk thing.
Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yeah,
You don't think all
Turtle
you don't
Talk
think
with
all like
Crush
the
would be
kids
better.
yelling would you wake you up?
Nope. Pretty used to that.
Yeah.
All right. Just because we're getting close to the end here, we have a tie. So someone's gonna have to vote just to make it so there's not a tie between Carousel of Progress and Hall of Presidents. 13 votes in, somehow there's a tie.
There.
Jay's explanation of the Hall of Presidents. I'll pick that one.
All right, there we go. We have changed it.
Yeah.
Hall of
The way he
Presidents.
described the environment, I can see if you are going to take a nap.
I mean, Joe Biden gives a speech in there. It'll knock you right out.
Yeah.
All
Club
right.
pop.
So we're gonna end this off with sort of more of a speculative award, but I think after some of the announcements that we've heard recently, we kind of all know who's gonna kind of win it. And that's
Is this the last award of the night?
This is the last award of the night. There is two.
JT's like, I got better things to do.
This is the last award. Besides the fact that Jay did win an award before, a community award, before the award show began, which was best park meme for poo tripping. So he did win an award. Our park hopping won an award.
Really?
Um,
Congratulations.
It was on my community tab.
I don't think this
Said-
is a discussion. To be honest, with you.
after everything that's been announced by Universal recently, that,
Yeah.
like I don't like Disney just kind of did some blue sky stuff, and SeaWorld is being aggressive with coasters. They are. I know there's new ones coming into Orlando, and the Dubai SeaWorld is amazing looking.
You're
Like,
just
I'm not
never gonna draw the amount of people you can when
With
you
Universal.
own IPs. If you own IPs, you're gonna bring more people in.
Yeah, and Universal announcing a London and now South Korea supposedly for a
Right.
park.
Disney
It's
should be
just-
scared.
This is exactly what Eisner did in the 90s with doing Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong,
Yep.
all that stuff. It's basically mimicking what Disney was doing
Yo,
when they were good.
Yeah, I agree. I think Universal probably has the most potential, just based on some of the other IPs that they're getting.
And as soon as they put Legend of Zelda, anything Legend of Zelda, I like Disney has had me for years.
Yeah,
Disney's
it seems like
had me
they're
since 1991.
it seems
And
like they're
then they
learning
lost
from
me. and now Universal is bringing Legend of Zelda in. Like, I'm gone. I'm going to Universal. Sorry.
I have to agree with that too. I mean, I've been around Disney since '92 or at least, and
it just seems like Universal's not doing what Disney's doing too much,
which is winning.
Yeah, and
well, they're not doing some of the silly stuff that's happening in the parks either.
That's what I'm saying. They're losing consistently with their fan base. They're making decisions where people ask the question, "Do you really care about us?" Like, I mean,
and then
get rid of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, which has been the hallmark of walking into the park, which was something that was always big for me. And then running over to Splash Mountain, now that's gone. There are so many things they're starting to take away from parents who bring their kids to the park that want them to be like, trust me, this is going to be important for you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
A normal family can probably afford Universal over Disney right now.
Yeah, not to mention the price.
And SeaWorld's probably right behind Universal, I would say.
Yeah. SeaWorld has a lot of work. They need to pivot away from all the animal interaction stuff, and that's what they're trying to do. So they've got a little ways to go before they're going to be able to compete on that level, but they're definitely on track for it. Disney,
I think Universal's even building a hotel or one out here in Dallas. I think they're building
SeaWorld to be smart to do is to get with Universal and say we should make an agreement to do some kind of like an Avatar, Pandora, something like partnership, so that you can go to Universal and then just like an Animal Kingdom, go over there at the end of the day and enjoy this Pandora-ish style universe. Well, they can't. That's Disney. Dang it.
I will say SeaWorld, if they got into IP, would be interesting because they need something to replace the animals, like theme park was saying, since they can't really bring in new or breed new.
Well, they can, just not in certain states. Like the one out here in San Antonio, they still have all the animals.
Well, so does California, but they're having to go away from it, so they're going to be phasing it out little by little.
The only
right, but you can still have it like maybe a theme park zoo without the without the shows. The shows, like my kid, we had a zoo in Arizona where it was split up, where it had theme park and it also had a zoo, and my kid loved it. So he gets the best of both worlds. So if they could do something like that, I think
that's the thing that I hate about the with SeaWorld getting bashed. It's like, do you realize how many people went to SeaWorld and that sparked their love for marine biology and the love of the oceans? That's what those parks did. I mean, massive. I mean, I think we all probably knew some little girl that went to SeaWorld and she decided that she was going to become a marine biologist just because she loved the dolphin show.
Yeah, or the tunnel where you got to see the sea lions or the shark tunnel, right? And go around you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's the other thing. And I think that's something in modern era that people don't really think about. Back in the day when SeaWorld opened up, or even before that, Marineland and stuff, how else were you going to see these things? Mm-hmm. Like, this is only ways people actually saw some animals in real life or marine creatures. So I think it's a little harsh. And Blackfish was a hit piece of anything else. Right. And, but I think SeaWorld needs to find same way they got the Rudolph and all those characters for Christmas. AIP. They need to get AIP that they can use besides Sesame.
Who would they go after though?
Well, I mean, dude, so to me, this is kind of tough, but think about what Steve Irwin did, right? He got to the forefront of media and made people stoked about animals. And I've always been a massive, being a hunter, being a rancher, being a kid who grew up loving the land. Conservation is like one of the most important things for me. And so I love it when people bash on Avatar because it's like, it's a bunch of blue hippies. I'm like, that's why I love it, man. Like, I love the earth. So I think what they really need to do, instead of just being their own, like, oh, we're SeaWorld and being mired in this controversy of having animals in captivity, is that you bring some other kind of IP to it to draw kids into it, right? So
what would they pick though? Everything's been gobbled up.
So that's the really hard part right now, is like what IP other than Avatar do you have that's really giving a strong like conservational message? Captain it's really Planet. Just Avatar.
Captain Planet would be legit.
When was where's Captain Planet, dude? The last time
What
I
about
saw
the
him was
world
like
of Fern
19
Gully?
dude.
Fern Gully.
Imagine bringing Fern Gully back.
That's
Well, that's Avatar.
Which is Avatar, by the way. Yeah.
Like, who would they grab? Because the two that you see on the screen here, they have everything really.
Yeah, I was going to say all the studios are basically
partnership.
consolidated.
You would have to do anime. You'd have to go somewhere that way, and that might be. I'm just saying.
If they could get the Godzilla rights, that'd be awesome.
Godzilla would be awesome. I'm not go to Toho.
Well, they used to do their
whales
used
like Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean they had their own like Atlantean type of ride.
The Atlantis ride is actually really cool. But I mean, I have to agree. Like Universal is definitely the leading the poll, and I 100% agree that Universal is coming out guns blazing to get that #1 spot. And
what does Universal have for 2024 though? We're saying most potential for 2024. What do they have coming out? Because I know Epic Universe is 25.
2025. Well, Disney doesn't really have. Disney has Tiana coming out in 2025.
Right. Disney doesn't have anything. I mean, the future for Disney is basically
SeaWorld
flat right now.
SeaWorld actually probably has the best potential with their new coaster they have coming out, because they've been cranking out new coasters on both Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and I think in some other ones. So in terms of potential for the upcoming year, now I also think there's a difference because Disney also has the DVC in Polynesian being built, which is also potential for consumer growth because DVC is a different type of people. Like I'm a DVC person. I'm not as bad as some other ones. I don't have like 7 contracts. But the new DVC tower in Polynesian will be done in 2024. So,
and I think something else, Tom, that's interesting, and it's an ace up the sleeve that Universal have that Disney doesn't really have right now, is that Universal has the hype behind announcements. So if Disney's like, "Oh, we're gonna change something," people are like, "Okay." But if Universal's like, "We're doing something," now there's this huge big drive. Everybody's excited because Universal has the weight behind them, that progress weight behind them right now that I think people don't really have with Disney. It's, what are you going to do? Oh, we're going to rebrand, a fan favorite ride and piss a bunch of people off because we don't have any more land to add anything. So,
well, I mean, Disneyland is an interesting. Well, Disney World has plenty of land. Disney
World
could open
has
3 more
land.
parks. Like Disney World could open like 3 or 4 more parks and still have room for 17 more hotels.
They don't have the money.
No, they don't have the money. They're land rich, though. They are land rich. Yeah. I'd be hilarious if Universal would be like, "Hey, you want to sell some of that land?"
Yeah, turn it into like the Monopoly game. I'll sell you 3rd Street.
But I think that SeaWorld is definitely the underdog, but I also think I really like their new coaster, the surfing one. That was really good. I've not had
the Arctic Rescue out in San Diego is really good.
Yeah,
that one, the coaster itself is so good. I'm just disappointed that they didn't do better theming. If they would have done top-notch theming, that coaster would have been it would have rivaled Thunder Mountain for me.
That's where SeaWorld needs to up their game up. Is theming, even if it's not IP. If you have a good themed non-IP coaster or ride, it'll still work. Because remember, Pirates back in the day on Haunted Mansion weren't IPs.
Yep.
Those were original.
I remember
things.
Medusa being the best coaster in California at Six Flags.
Yeah, I mean,
Medusa was like the gnarliest roller coaster in California. It had nothing to do with any IP or anything.
Yeah, I guess you don't really. If you do a good ride, you don't really need an IP.
Yeah.
But I do also think that Universal does have. I don't think the Vegas thing is next year. I think it's 1 more year out. I could be wrong. I know it's being worked on right now. So
Six Flags is gone, bro. Apparently they closed that park in wherever it was in Middle California. It's gone.
I won't close the poll. I mean, I think Universal's winning out just mainly because it is a fan favorite right now.
Agreed.
And SeaWorld is a local park aspect, and if you go there are things that you love, and it's also very cheap to get into in terms of like what you would consider a bigger park or a bigger nationwide park.
Right.
Like you can get in for like $30. And the only thing that throws me thinking financially into it is Disney with these communities. I have no clue what they're planning with those, but that is an interesting wheel with the thing coming in North Carolina, over in the Disneyland Forward, right over in, or
Oh, you mean
whatever it is.
the what is it, Cotino or something like that?
Yeah, and Arizona, that's
out in the
another one being
desert.
built in Arizona. Yeah, so those are interesting things.
There's one in Texas.
It was Vallejo is the one I was talking about. It's Vallejo. Still open.
So I think we'll go along with the chat and my viewpoint. I'm going to end the poll. Universal is definitely building the most momentum in terms of potential going forward. 2024 seems like, as long as they don't mess anything up, they'll still be gaining more momentum and moving further on those most visited parks. I think HHN is a big help for them too.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we're planning a family vacation in the next year, and I'm pretty sure we're going to go to Universal. So
I would.
I would stay in a deluxe resort then. You get the.
I will call you, Tom. I will ask you all the advice.
Yeah, does Universal do like the themed hotels and stuff on site, like Disney does?
Hard Rock Portofino Bay is amazing looking. That's an Italian, like Riviera themed. I know Jay loves Aventura, right?
Yeah, but I just stayed at Portofino Bay over Christmas, and it was probably the greatest thing ever.
Really?
They literally made Venice. They just made Venice, like with boats in the water and everything. It's so cool. Beautiful. Yeah, I never stayed there before, and I got a room like right by the water. It was pretty cool.
So I would say the top level hotels at Universal offer Express Pass built in to your stay, which will be a cost saving measures if you're coming with a larger family. They're around.
Well, I was going to stay at your place.
I'm an hour away.
Yeah, well,
he's got a bike.
All right. That will be the final award, and the winner is going to Universal. I'm agreeing with the chat. I think the panel kind of agrees Universal's got the most momentum right now. I'm going to be really interested.
Bring back Nickelodeon Studios. Then you'll be awesome.
Dude, if they decided to make a kids area that was all Rugrats and like stuff like that, that's wasted money. Like they have wasted. I don't know who owns it anymore though. I think it's Viacom now. But all right. So I do want to thank my panelists. So what does everyone have coming up soon for their stuff? I guess we'll start with JT below me.
Well, first, thanks Tom for inviting me on. This has been fun hanging out with the 3 other panelists and talking about the year of 2023 of the parks. I think that was great. I think this will be a fun thing to do every year if this takes off. So good idea. And as far as Late Night with Cap, I'm coming back January 3rd. I'm doing a group stream just like this to kind of reflect on 2023 and what we got coming up for 2024. So look for that. So again, thanks again.
I agree with this 100%. Then theme park.
Also, thank you for having me on. It was great to be here with all the panelists. I'm hoping if work cooperates, I'll be at Knott's Berry Farm for one more stint at Christmas time in the park tomorrow evening. After that, it'll be Disneyland on January 5th in the evening to catch one last hurrah for their holiday season.
Cool. Again, follow everyone on here. X-Wing, what are you up to?
No idea, man. Just trying to have fun. Do live streams where I can. It's becoming more and more difficult to talk about pop culture just because
he's just gonna work on his mustache.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna twirl.
Can you get to Yosemite Sam level?
Maybe someday. We'll see if we can get there. Something that is coming up. I'm looking forward to January 6th. Kind of a funny day. I'll be on with Vets Talking and Gary from Nerdrotics. We'll be talking about absolutely nothing and just having a good time. I have an upcoming stream with my brother, who is a bona fide and legitimate Tolkien historian. So we're going to be talking about what's going on with Rings of Power Season 2, the resurgence of Anatar. That's going to be very interesting. And then something really big for 2024, Jay and I are going to be talking about quite a bit coming up here pretty soon. We take a really big step at the first of the year, a really big step at the first of the year. So we'll see.
And the guest of showing in late, Drunk 3PO. I know. Please, if you haven't subbed to Drunk 3PO's basement, do so. He's so close to monetization. What else are you looking forward to in the new year? You have coming up soon, Jay.
Man, I'm just working on the pirate channel, and
I drop the pirate channel too.
I have a. It's okay. I appreciate it. I have the horrid history channel too. That man, I only have 200 subs over there. When we dropped the first video, and it's soaring. It's like over 1,000 views, and people really seem to like that type of creepiness. So
humans are horrible.
We have another one. We have another one we're gonna launch here, and once I get home to clean up the thumbnail and stuff. And so, like, it's just been fun to not talk about pop culture.
You might want to get with Casual on that whole slide mountain.
Oh,
what?
The dude's head
slid underneath the boat and got popped by one of the.
I've got stories too.
Yeah.
Is this like that old VHS that they had where it was like Faces of Death?
Oh, it's not that bad. It's just weird history that a lot of people probably did not know existed, and it goes a little. It goes further back. Like it'd be like Jack the Ripper style stuff. Like nothing. I don't know if we'll do anything recent because that means it's just like a true crime channel. It's just gonna be like weird. We'll probably talk about martyrs and stuff like that. So
okay, cool.
I do want to thank Dawn for the $5. Well, since I won't be coming, here's a super chat I would have sent. Thank you, Dawn. You didn't have to do that. Please let me know next time when you're traveling down. Love to say hi as always. And thank you to the panelists. Thank you. Hopefully, I'll pick a better time next year to do this, and there will be a second one, and I will try to make everything more fancy next time.
This was fun,
fancy, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this was fun. This is one of the most fun streams I've been on.
You've inspired me. I think I'm gonna do a Star Wars award show end of 2023. I think I'm gonna do that.
This is fun. Good idea, man. This is great.
Is there any positive? Just saying. Okay. All right, everyone, follow everyone on here. Follow Jay's 30 channels and X-Wings and
follow my one.
Yeah. And we are out of here. Thank you all. Thank you to the panelists. Stay foolish, and I will see you guys, I think tomorrow, maybe Saturday. But bye, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy. Cheers. And we are out.